So Kitten likes
I
to
mean,
eat dick.
it's cooked right, so like.
Caddy, thoughts on dick?
I mean, it's alright.
Wow, just all right. Okay, you heard it here first. Dick is just all right. Okay, sorry, dick havers. Just all
Look,
right.
I mean, is it better than the alternative? You know, studies unclear.
Okay, all right. Okay. By the way, we've been recording for the past like 5 minutes, so
Oh
all
shit!
this is
Well,
going in the podcast.
it's okay. I'm gay.
It's okay. I'm gay. Is that the T-shirt you're gonna sell? It's
Yeah.
okay. I'm gay.
Yeah, that'd be a
Yay!
great T-shirt.
Great. Okay, I posted the thing. People are gonna join. Ghostface wants money. Soph's about to join. DBS is coming in. Swift is gonna fall asleep in the middle of this, and I have my tits out.
Oh, same, honey.
Oh, really? I would like to see it. I would like a picture, please.
Are we not all sitting in the same room, like a
Oh.
library with like leather high back chairs and with little cups of whiskey that none of us are actually drinking?
Obviously.
Some
Wow.
of us with our tits out.
What? Okay, I need to pause on the fact that you're drinking straight whiskey, just straight up whiskey. What kind of day have you had? Good lord.
Honey, it's been a week.
Has it just been a life for you?
Yeah, really.
Just
Also, my whiskey isn't even whiskey; it's just whiskey colored gin. I just added a couple like drops of Coke or something to make it look like it was whiskey, so I could fit in with everybody
a
else.
couple drops of Coke. I love it. You don't even do like a chaser. You're just like, I want to pretend like I have a chaser.
Yeah.
That is a true alcoholic. I stand. Good job. Very good. Very, very good. Ara says, wait, put your tits away. Who? Which one? All of our tits are out. Oh, gosh, my widow baby nips. My widow baby A-cup nips. Oh. Hi, everyone. Welcome to a very special episode of, I was about to call this Ask NHC. Good morning, New York City. Don't ask us anything. I don't want to hear any questions today. Welcome to our special episode where we talk about various things. Sometimes we talk about RP. Sometimes we talk about D&D. We haven't done it yet, but maybe we will one day. And you know, today we're going to talk about the 8th Cryptidverse series RP, Night of the Living Roleplay. Oh wait, I'm gonna invite folks to speak. Sorry, they're coming in. Folks are coming in. You're all here. Oh, there's a Swift. There's a Kitten again. Here comes a. What did you do?
I tried to get things up so that like I could
Me too.
see things, and it decided it wasn't going to do that, and put me in the movie theater.
Good job. Good job. Excellent work. Excellent work. So this is the this the 8th CV out of 12. I guess I'll read the prompt, and then I will talk about the impetus for the inspiration for our characters. So the prompt that I gave you all, it's my turn for the movie club, and I decided that we are doing, drumroll please, Night of the Living Dead. We're also bringing back Movie Club RP this month. We're bringing RPing in Lancashire, which is the closest we could get to Pennsylvania, America, because this is set in the UK, where the original film was made. So everyone needs to pick their characters from the movie. You have 2 weeks to get your costumes ready. We'll meet at the Addlington Station train stop, which is where we'll be. So I've rented a cottage out, and it sort of looks like the house from the movie. So we'll use that. I'm so excited! This is gonna be rad. See you there. And we set this in 1986, Lancashire, UK. Lancashire. That's how they talk there. That's not how they talk there.
I'm sure they do fire.
Lancashire.
I'm pretty sure that's not how they talk.
Lancashire. Lancashire. And so the prompt was also that you had to play a high school teen anywhere from ages 14 to 17. You guys didn't go younger this time. I was surprised about this. From the greater London area who is obsessed with movies so much that you're in a horror movie roleplay club or HMRPC. And horror movie roleplay club. Yeah, that's right. Your character will also be playing a character from the 1968 movie Night of the Living Dead. So let me actually I want to read it in order of who sent them in. Well, let's start with my character. So I actually played along with this one, and I played Amani Abibi, who's 16. She's 5'10". Why did I make her 5'10"? Jesus, she was tall. And she was playing as Ben, who's the lead. Yeah, I needed to make a black girl because no one else is going to make a black girl. That's pretty much it. Who else? And then who came in next? We had Shadow, Yusa Shadow playing Ashley Williams. We had Kiara playing Primrose. Leah playing Benjamin Bright. Noob playing Claire Smith. Kitten playing Laura. You want to introduce Laura and how you came up with her?
I just wanted a goth chick from the 1980s. That was the whole thing behind her. To be honest with you.
Yep. Okay.
That was also as far as I got with her. When I was like, "This is what I want. We're going to call her Lara, and I guess I'll come up with a background later."
Listen, it is proven in the CV that the less work you do up top, the more successful your character will be. It happens every session. So, and then right behind you was David or Dave Lister, played by Caddy Master.
Yeah, my boy.
Some say iconic character.
Yeah, he won an award.
He did
for existing. Good for him.
How'd you come up with old Dave, Davy Dave?
As soon as I found out that it was going to be England in the 80s, I immediately wanted to play a little British punk boy. And I put zero thought into the name. I literally just ripped it off from Red Dwarf, which is one of my favorite BBC Two comedies. So
amazing.
That was the whole thing with him. Was just the whole thought process was I want to be a little British punk in the early punk days.
Very Sex Pistols. We love it. Or what's that guy's name? I don't remember. Then we had hi Swift. We had Cecile. Are you there?
Cecile Freeman. Yeah.
Hi.
Sorry, Hello. I'm just typing down my. I'm currently sorry if I'm just occupied. If I just sound spacey because I have to work on college assignments. I'm doing a double hustle here.
I mean, tell them why you're really spacey. It's because I have my tits out and you can't stop looking at them. I understand. It's fine. They're very gorgeous.
You mean I could see them from one time zone away? That'd be impossible.
Honey, fire is so flamboyant you can see him from space.
I can almost touch my tongue with my tit. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry.
If you feed your own nips, does that constitute as breastfeeding?
Yes, of course it does. And I'm ovulating. Oh God! And then I'm just thinking about Aragorn ripping wood apart with that gif, and now I'm really ovulating. Can we go ahead and introduce Cecile?
Okay, so Cecile Freeman. She's partially I was. What also came into my mind by the fact that oh wait, this is in the United Kingdom. Well, her original backstory was that she also has like French descent. So I'm just like, Emma Watson also has French descent, so might as well do that.
Work.
Cecile Freeman, she was actually someone I made along with Jesse over here. And in fact, she was originally based on another character that I made. Well,
of course.
Another Freda. She's actually based on Castellan Freda, except, much younger, much more reserved. Much more reserved for a girl her age, and yeah. And no propensity for violence. So
bad idea. she came to the wrong place. And then right behind her was her definitely not annoying, definitely not anger management prone Andrew.
Yeah. Also, second CV in a row, me and Swift posted at the exact same minute.
Yeah, oh, you did actually. That is creepy.
Yes. Andrew, the character who was originally 40, then 27, and then 17. Fire, you really screwed me.
Yeah, I know. Because I know how y'all work. Y'all are like, oh, great, I'm going to start playing this character now. And I'm like, nope,
No,
different age.
No, I wish we asked you, has there ever been like a relationship or a married couple on CV4? You said no. I said perfect, and then we couldn't.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah. Well, CV12's gonna... CV12's gonna give us the opportunity then. And to be fair, CV10 also did the same thing. But
I just love ruining y'all's lives. That's all I want to do.
Yes, you really do.
That's all I like to do.
Yeah, can't wait to return the sentiment with my own legion of characters.
Can't wait to die again in CV12.
Andrew's gonna get no introduction.
So tell us about Andrew. Probably my least, the character of yours, DBS, that I would wanted to stomp into the ground the most. I hate this man.
2022.
So deeply.
I don't disagree with that. I also don't agree. Anyways, Anderson Cloud, 17, 6 feet tall, was gonna RP as Tom, and he's from Ireland. Freaking moved because his father had business. People know what that feels like.
Mm-hmm.
So the dude's like, I console in movies. I meet this person. We console in movies. Nice.
Perfect. Oh, I love the way you explain your character. Short and sweet. I love it. Soph played Wesley. Had the longest backstory, of course. Actually, not of course. I'm surprised. Swift, did you get a note that I told you that your backstory had to be short?
To be fair,
I'm shocked that Soph beat you word count wise for a backstory.
Well, to be fair, there are things that I purposefully leave out.
Okay.
There are things that I purposely leave out, and then once I get into the nitty gritty of backstory, it's just, case in point, probably the one whose backstory I have thought of the most. Well, let's see, which character was it? Yeah, John Freda was probably the one whose backstory is the one. Backstory is the one I put the most thought of.
You and your long ass backstories. Anyway, so we go. We start the RP on the train, right? This is where. Hang on. Oh yeah.
Train station.
Train station.
That's
train
right.
station to start.
That's right. That is where we started.
You wrote this.
I will, as I learned from last night's from Nee, I won't remember any of this. I remember maybe 2 things from this RP, and they all happen at the end.
It's okay. I too slept since then.
Yes.
It's been half a year. I don't think we're meant to remember anything.
That's true.
Oh God, that is true.
So everyone comes in and meets each other at the train station. We've all kind of had the conceit that we are have met each other before, or have at least interacted on a surface level before. Was there any character that you all were like, oh, I'm gonna link up with this one, or oh, I'm gonna link up with that one, or did you guys have any ideas when you met how all the characters were introducing themselves?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
Great.
No.
Great. Asked and answered, I guess.
I don't know.
So that's the end. That's the end of the podcast. Great job. That was it. That's all that happened. So everyone gets really cutesy and is like, oh, hey, how's it going? And it was me playing Amani was really challenging because I had to sort of be the link between everyone. So I was on the fly coming up with backstories between you and however many of y'all there were. 8, I don't know. And so that was fun. that was great. Oh, we gotta let Soph in. Soph is having FOMO. Come in, Soph. Come on in, Soph. And the train station stuff. Did anything interesting happen on the train? I don't even remember.
Yeah, a couple of things.
Yeah.
And not even just before seeing the dead body underneath the tracks.
Oh
or
yes.
the arm, anyways.
Oh yes. Do you all remember? I'm reading that. That's what Sid Vicious. Sid Vicious. That's who I was thinking of because I just read that. I wrote that. You look like Sid Vicious. Anyway.
The train on the train was where Wes ripped his pants.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
What? Welcome,
And
so.
I never got my pants back, so I ended up stealing his.
That's right, Wes. Why did you rip your pants? Why did Wes rip his pants?
No, weren't we trying to go over a fence and I rolled a 3 or something, and then he ripped his pants?
Mm-hmm.
Why was he going over a fence? Oh,
It was
this...
when we all went
train
because
was
the train had stopped,
Oh.
and it was when the train had stopped, and Imani was like, "Oh, we're gonna go find out what's going on," and for whatever reason, and then we all climbed over the barrier on the outside to see what was going on, and
oh, that's
Dave
right.
did a backflip.
Dave did a backflip. Climbing back in was when Wes ripped his pants.
Ripped his pants. And then, oh my gosh, Dave is such a gentleman. I appreciated him.
Yeah, he
He's
is.
a mom friend.
He really is. Oh, so who all? So yeah. So we rode on the train for a while, and then we at some point the train had stopped because there's something going on the tracks, and Amani was like, "We should go figure out what happened." Which is definitely not Fire Demon trying to get you guys to move towards plot points. And who all went? I think it was Amani. You said it was Amani, Wes, Laura, and Dave. Was it the 4 of them?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
Did everyone do well getting over fences besides Wes?
No.
The rest of us did, yes, but Wes, no.
That was the most traumatizing moment of Wesley's life.
You mean dying wasn't?
Yeah.
Anyway. I mean, we'll get there. Oops.
We don't know how he died. He went into the grass and then...
Yeah, he didn't die.
Sure. By the way, Soap, do you want to introduce Wesley and how you came up with him? Because he has the longest backstory out of everybody.
Okay, no. Wesley was just an OC I had that I kind of rebranded into a sort of way, and then just made him a former theatre kid. His original version, he's actually a swimmer.
That's true.
But he was a theatre kid in this one.
Oh, so cute. I hate theater kids.
Yeah.
Argrin
So let's make an RP full of all of them.
Yeah, I know.
He joined the horror
Theater
roleplay club because he got pissed with the whole group.
This is my
at
absolute
the
fucking
theater
nightmare.
club.
I was like, ugh, this is like, I would hate all of these children, all of them.
Even Dave.
Even Dave. Even
Aw.
Dave. I just...
It's fine. He'd egg your house. Fuck you.
Yes,
Them kids.
he would. Fucking
Yeah,
kids.
these.
Ugh.
What about
I
Laura?
mean, a number of my classmates were once part of this theater club. I had to see them like excuse themselves each and every time because they had to do performances. They had to
That's
practice
ridiculous.
for like stage plays, to which I've seen along with like the rest of the batch. They were good, to be fair.
Oh God, but at what cost? They have to like... They're
Hold
like
them
theater kids.
So it's a higher standard.
Ugh.
Yeah, well, guess what? They were also like part of the Achievers class, the pilot class. So it's just they have a get out of jail free card when it comes to these kinds of things.
Did they do any drugs? Do they fuck each other? Do they do any sort of anything?
No.
Adderall? Do they sell Adderall?
No, it's a Catholic school. They wouldn't allow shit
Wesley
like
is the
that.
most romance repulsed OC I have, so...
If you were under the age of 18 and you're not selling Adderall, you should be very ashamed of yourself because you were
It was
wasting
the
your
80s.
youth.
To be
They
fair-
have Adderall?
To be
Oh, that's
fair, they would
true.
have been suspended by the school. I mean, the principals are priests, so
Who would have figured it out? If you're good at selling Adderall, you wouldn't be caught by the principal. And if you're a good drug dealer, you'd be selling to the priests. Hello.
I was gonna say,
No.
Dave and his friends were too
I mean,
poor
like-
to afford Adderall. They were probably selling like lawn clippings and saying it was weed.
Not one.
I
Don't
fucked
do drugs, kids.
I fucked 2 Catholic priests, but that's a story for another day. So after that, so they go over the fence to see what's happening, and what do they find?
A
An
dead body.
arm. Don't they find an arm
dead-
first? They find
Yeah.
like a.
I think it was an arm or a leg. An arm, either way, it's just.
It was an arm. And Imani was actually the one who's seen it. I think the rest of us kind of only saw blood, and
Didn't
Imani
someone
was
throw
like,
up?
Oh yeah, who did throw up? I'm about to find this. We're about to find this. It's coming.
I have no idea who threw up from that. The only person I can remember throwing up is Dave, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't around then.
No, I think that was during the drinking
Dave.
scene.
No, Dave did not throw up during the drinking scene. Dave had a whole traumatic ordeal, which left him a hollow shell of a man by the time they were trying to escape.
Yeah. Poor Dave.
Poor
Is that
Dave.
gonna be a? Is that gonna be
Dave.
like a recurring phrase as this thread? I mean, as this podcast goes on.
I don't feel bad for Dave. He won a goddamn award, so he's fine. He's fine.
He's dead.
He's
double
fine.
dead. He died twice.
Okay, kill him a third time.
Kill him
Kill him the third time. Third time's a charm. And if possible, like probably kill him 7 more times so that his corpse can ascend to heaven, because 7 is the holy number. But nope.
I definitely need to write that all Dave little short story that I was
Yes.
going to write
Oh my
with
God.
all of the Daves.
Yes, please. So
all 3 Daves sharing an apartment.
I'm drawing Wesley right now.
Oh my God, yes! I can't wait to see it. So
It's modern AU Wesley though.
are we doing modern Wesley? How does he dress
Yeah.
much differently? Was he super 80s in the 80s? I don't know.
Nope.
So they get back out of the car or back into the train station, and doesn't Dave give him his pants or give him his
Yeah, he
shirt
gives
or
him
something?
he gives Wesley his pants that was specifically for his costume for tomorrow, thinking that, Wes has another pair of pants somewhere, surely, and would return his pants in time for the thing to the day after.
Oh my
He was
God.
wrong. Thank God he died, because otherwise his parents would kill him for losing his good pants.
I just made that connection about how pants make an appearance later on in this, but anyway, that's amazing. I just made that connection. Oh, that is brilliant and definitely intentional. I'm sure you all meant for that to happen. So Ara says, in my head, Dave and Dirk are driving into the sunset to start a punk band. Oh, Dirk. R.I.P. Dirk. He didn't die. So
Dave would love Dirk. I need you to know, Ara. It would happen.
Dirk, top 10 most chaotic CV characters. So what happens next? Do they just get off the train and then they go to they get to the station? Does anything interesting happen on the train, or is it just like bonding?
A little bit of bonding. I think it was mostly what happened. Yeah. We got a little bit of character information, small amounts of background. We got to know a little bits about some of the characters. That, I think, was also when a little hint of Imani might have a thing for Dave was starting to show up.
Yes.
Because girl was giving Lara some looks.
Right. So there was an idea that Imani got in her head that 14-year-old Lara and 17-year-old Dave. How old is Dave? Is he 16 or 17?
I think he was 16.
I think 15. I forgot.
You'll say in the pins.
Let me open the RP. A wild idea, I know.
Dave's 15, Laura's 14.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
Lara.
that makes sense.
Lara was the youngest one in the group.
Okay, that makes sense. If Dave was 17 and Laura was 14, I'd be like, "Oh, Dave, what you got with the 14-year-old?" But yeah. So Imani was feeling a little threatened by Laura because they spend a lot of time together, and who knows what they were doing and what they're up to, and it's not fair because Dave is so hot and cool, and he deserves to be with me, not her. Maybe, I don't know.
Lara was just trying to make friends, man.
Meanwhile, Dave's just thinking about his best friend.
Yeah, what? That's actually a good question. How did you take it that Imani was like pushing up on Dave a little bit?
Me?
Everyone. I don't
Or-
know.
Oh.
Mostly the two of you, I guess. I guess it's Dave the two of you. It doesn't really affect any of the other characters, but Soph says Amani deserved better. Wow. Okay. Okay.
Wow.
Wow. Wow. Wow. Wow.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. I mean, I was not expecting you to fucking go hard on my boy, but we roll with the punches, I guess. I was like heavily implying that he was hella gay with his friend Reg.
Yes, which I love. See, I love conflict. I love conflict. This is great because it was like a love quadrangle. What's the word? Quadrilateral. A love square. A love square. And in this love square, it's like a love. Okay, I'm very obsessed with this now. It's not like a square, but it's like a line. It's like a bunch of people who don't want each other, but they want each other. Do you know what I'm saying? I know what
a circle.
Yeah.
Ara says it's called a clusterfuck.
Yeah. Okay. It's a clusterfuck. So Amani wanted Dave, who thought Dave wanted Laura, but Dave wanted Reggie, whoever the fuck that was, or whatever his name is. And who did Laura want? Did Laura want anybody?
It was Reg Peterson.
Laura.
Or was she just 14?
She was 14, man. She didn't really care too much. If it happened, it happened. If it didn't, it didn't. But, like, she also didn't, like I said, she didn't really give a fuck if it was a dude or a chick. She was just like,
happy
whatever.
to be involved.
Happy to be involved. Yes. That's pretty much it. Like
and so everyone gets to the town, and Amani notices someone being a little bit weird, a little stranger off on the side, who's kind of like staring at her very clearly at her chesticles, and she's feeling uncomfy, and Dave very quickly understands what's going on and takes off his jacket, which this is the cutest thing. He takes off his jacket and hands it to Amani, and then he like covers her up. It's so cute. Oh, I want a Dave who's not 15.
I want you to know. I want you to know Dave was absolutely ready to try and go throw down with that guy despite being probably like a third his size.
It's very, very cute. Ara says Dave gets a hug and a Pop-Tart. And what more can you ask for?
Lara would have backed him up somehow. Probably with like a trolley or something from inside the station. Got no time for perverts, okay?
No time for perverts. And is this when there was a conversation between Laura and Amani that happened about like sexuality and gender, but then maybe that happened later. I don't remember.
Yeah, that happened when they were at another place and in the kitchen getting some food.
Yeah. I like that scene. Well, just remind me when we get to that scene. So they're like, "Oh, let's get out of here." Amani's like, "Yeah, this is weird. I'm getting weird vibes." So Amani basically says that I believe it's her uncle's like house. Did anyone get any bad vibes? Did anyone throw up any flags about Amani's connections to this space?
It matched identically to the house that was from the movie.
That's true. That is true.
It was the complete and total like that alone was just like that's kind of sus. And then it's like okay, I can't get into too many other things because we're not there yet. But like the house was sus. And then the grass.
Oh yes, the grass, the tall grass. Then the short grass. Here's a quick question for the room. Had everyone seen Night of the Living Dead prior to this roleplay?
Yes.
Kim and I watched it together.
Actually, yeah, we did. I watched the original one before, and then I watched one of the new iterations of the movie, and then Yeah, Dio and I watched the old one.
That is so cute. Does anyone
Um,
find the movie terrifying? Or is it just like, oh,
No.
cool
What?
movie?
Kind of.
I find the movie very scary. No one else does.
Find what terrifying?
Night of the Living Dead,
I
the
think it was
original
really
movie.
scary for the time.
Well, it was pretty horrifying, at least for the time, and then I'm just like, yeah, I see you, Revenant Man. I don't know, I've seen scarier.
Well,
So used to blood and gore nowadays.
that is true.
to be honest,
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably stemming from the fact that whenever I just kind of got numb to these horror stuffs whenever I get the chance, I just watch horror material, and it's like, yeah, I don't think I'll ever get scared of this shit.
Same though. Like I watched that again, and I was like, wow, acting wasn't really all that great back then, huh?
No, well, not from that movie. A couple of them are
Tried
good.
that one.
I think Ben was good, and then everyone else was sort of like,
Subpar.
a model at some point who was in a movie.
Funnily
Yeah.
enough, that's exactly how it works in the RP.
Yeah,
When
pretty
we get
much
there.
actually, yes. So everyone gets they call a cabbie and they get to the we have to pause for this one moment because Primrose on the train pulls out this device that we are all very confused about.
Oh boy.
And Kiara's not here. This is great. She pulls out this device where she dials a number and then she makes a call to a person that's not connected to a cord. And apparently it's called a cell phone. Yeah, so Kiara forgot that we were in the 80s.
Again.
And had her character pull out a cell phone.
Again, because they did the same thing in Truth or Tale.
Yeah.
So
Looking for cell phones and CDs.
Yeah.
So after doing some extensive research, I found out that in 1986, I was too poor at the time. There actually was a cell phone. It was for only the rich, and it was probably the size of your thigh. And
It was a brick.
It was a total brick. You could use it to fight people. You could use it to beat meat or dough, or I don't know, throw it through a window, hit your kid. There's a bunch of things you could do with it.
It came with a strap, didn't it? Like you had to carry it on your side.
All right, just post a picture. All right, just post a picture of it. It looked kind of like a giant Nintendo Switch, but if the Switch was like hanging off the side, it was very, very strange.
If the Switch wasn't made by Nokia.
Correct. The Switch wasn't made by Nokia. Yes. So we didn't exactly retcon it, but we figured out a way to make it work, and now we rewrote Kiara's Primrose's backstory to say that her family is really rich and disgustingly rich. And she carries around a cell phone. I don't know why she's not more nervous about carrying around a device that no one else has and would really like, but whatever. So we work that into the story, and Primrose has a cell phone. Must be nice. And so we go to the house. We go to the house, and what is the first thing that we do? I think we figure out the bedroom situation, which was actually kind of a moment because we needed to know because people had to pair up for bedrooms. We already knew that So Cecile and Andrew were not dating at the time, or they were. What was
Let's see. I think they were.
Yes, they were dating. Yeah, that's right. And so I think.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Did they have a room together? I think I pinned it somewhere. Let me see if I can find the. So let me see what the room.
I'm 99.99% sure they did. Yeah, and they paired it with Primrose.
I have it. Okay, so the room assignments. There's a first floor and a second floor. There's two rooms on the first floor, 3 on the second, just like in the movie, sort of, kind of, not really. So the first room was Amani and Dave, which Amani was very happy about. And she thought that Laura was probably pissed about, weren't you, Laura? No. And then the second one was with Claire and Primrose. Primrose later changes rooms to be with Cecile and Andrew, like the third wheel cock block that she is. And then the second floor had Laura and Wes, Benjamin and Ashley, and then Andrew and Cecile. We really, I really loved how progressive everyone was. Like, you know what? It doesn't matter that we don't have to pair up genders together. We just, we can all be adults. Or
I don't know. It's pretty middle school to just be like,
Yeah.
oh, I could share a room with a girl. I'm going to share a room with a girl.
Ew.
There's no parents here to stop me.
Children are so disgusting. Do not have them. So everyone gets in, and then there's a boombox. Amani brought a ton of CDs. It's a great way for us to reestablish that we're in the 80s for anyone who's forgotten. And so, we pull out some Madonna and we start dancing to some Madonna. Cassettes, yeah. Did we do cassettes? There wasn't CDs, right?
There wasn't CDs then yet.
Yeah, that's right.
Probably, unless you were like, stupid rich or whatever.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't even think they had CDs. So I think it was records and cassettes.
Yep, records and cassettes. Probably 8 tracks as well.
80s CD player. Ara is coming through with the pictures right now. If you're not in Bonfire Bar text chat, Ara is providing
It
visual
could hold
aids.
6 songs.
Ugh, and 6 songs is really all you need.
All 6 songs.
No skips there.
So, Amani's trying to get everyone to dance. No one's biting. No one's trying to dance. Everyone's too cool, especially Dave with his leather jacket. He's too punk to dance.
Dave just wanted to drink.
Everyone's too cool to dance. And this also starts the division between Cecile and Amani, because what I really love about Cecile and Andrew is they have that really high school thing. Like, when high schoolers start dating and they just do not stop touching each other. They're just like connected at the hip. And it was just, there's that line of like Cecile's hanging on Andrew. And I'm like, ugh, this is why children are awful. They're so codependent and gross. That was great. Good job, y'all.
It was perfect.
It was very perfect. God. Why do people date before they're 18? It's so stupid. Anyway, so I'm reading here that it says, why is Cecile being such a bitch today? Let me see what the let me see. Oh, that's what it was. Oh, because Amani called Cecile Cece, and she was like, hey, Cece. And then Cecile was like, only Drew gets to call me Cece, which is the most high school little girl thing I've ever heard. That was great.
That ain't gatekeeping.
It's the most only my boyfriend gets to call me
Wesley liked to call Dave Davey too.
Yeah.
Oh yes, Dave seemed
Wes
to...
was the only one allowed to. If anybody else, Dave would have thrown probably some sort of tantrum, but Wes had already earned his respect, and he kind of liked Wes, and it's like, look, listen, only my mom calls me that. It's kind of weird, but you can get by with it, because I like you. It's cool.
Swift, how did you feel?
Oh, everyone had a nickname, so that was pretty middle school.
That was very middle school. How did you feel about you were sort of seeing Amani's distaste for Cecile? Did you feel a cat fight coming on? We're in the 80s, so this is back in the times when women had to fight each other, and we had to call it cat fighting. Meow. We have to put some meow sounds over this. How'd you feel about it, Swift? Were you scared? Are you alive, Swift? Did you die? Yeah, it was.
This is like every 5 minutes.
It was pretty.
Huh? What?
I was saying that was kind of perfect. I was saying, Swift. There's the scene in the beginning when Cecile refused to dance with Amani because she called her Cece, and then Amani was like,
"Oh, it's like, yeah." To be fair, she was kind of having like an emotional moment right there, and the reason why I was like, come on, I'm thinking that the reason why I was I didn't respond right away was because I was listening to music and
Thanks, Swift.
listening to some music.
Thanks, Swift, for being dedicated to this podcast. My God, Swift.
Come on, Fire. I've been in all of them.
Just kidding.
I'm free to just basically like drop in every now and then. Even just a gratuitous cameo is enough.
God. If you want to hear 3 hours and 45 minutes of me, Swift, and DBS talking, go back to the
some Nick
and Nick chiming in occasionally at 4 a.m. So yes, Cece's not feeling Amani. Amani's not feeling Cece. It happens. So everyone starts dancing. And just a couple other things. It was also, there's some tension between Amani and Andrew. How did you have a decision beforehand to make Andrew so, I'm going to use a $1 million word here, pugnacious? Ooh.
I was going to say puntable.
That also works. Yeah, when did the decision come in to kind of make him a little bit prickly? We'll call him prickly.
Freaking don't know. I just wrote them based on interaction.
That's fair. So do you feel like it was like more in the moment you decided that he was kind of he was a fuckwad? That's
I'm pretty much like,
judgmental.
well, I replied this one way, and now I'm stuck into this line of thinking. So let's do it.
I like it. That's true. I mean, you did recently come off after knee. You did come off of Charlotte, who was also a little bit of a fighty one. So this was.
All my characters have bite to them.
That's not true though. I mean, you definitely changed for Circles. Circles is very different. You played a much more amicable character. But yeah, I think for Night I like that Andrew was so because you know me, I always love a character that amps the drama. I like amped drama. So this
Same
is
about you and me, Fire. We
great.
pretty much create drama just by existing.
That's true. Our characters always hate each other every time. So Amani is like, oh great, starting off great because the couple hates me. Oh no, what am I gonna do?
Oh my God.
What were you gonna say?
Sorry, I was just Insidious Curses.
Oh,
I was just gonna say, like, Amani was just jealous that they had what she wanted with Dave. Let's be honest.
True.
How dare you? How dare you?
Oh my God, they're in a relationship.
They're in a relationship. They're so loving and so sweet and so lovey-dovey. It's almost sickening for Amani.
Well, and
boo-hoo, save her from this travesty that is called romantic pining.
Like half an hour later, they're like, "Oh, one of them at least is like, I refuse to drink this drink because I'm convinced she's fucking poisoned it." like it's not like, oh, Imani doesn't like them because they're a couple. They literally accuse her of poisoning them.
Starting off, after that, all of the hatred was completely understandable.
Untrue. How dare? How dare? How dare? All this Amani slander on the pod. I won't have it.
Me having frickin' what's his face actually think it was poison is just the greatest decision I've ever made.
Oh God, Andrew's a psychopath. He's a true psychopath.
Yeah, he
the
was
only
like,
thing that's
okay,
actually his only redeeming factor is that he genuinely loves his girlfriend.
He's like, it's fine if Cece and Prim drink poison, but I'm not going to. At that point, Dave wanted to hit him with a fucking
Jesse,
chair.
Someday I have to be the one to make like all of the very vital
it was something decisions. Like their drinks came out first. That's why he was skeptical.
Oh my God.
Like their drinks were separated from the others.
Poor Cece. Oh God. That relationship is gonna go downhill when they get hit 18. So we find out that we have a latecomer. Claire comes out and is like, oh hey, sorry guys, I'm late. And I'm like, it's fine, come on in, hang out.
How did you get here?
How did you find us? Yay!
How are you here?
He showed up with everybody, got on the train, and was just like, fuck this shit, and then left. And then somehow got back.
You're so resourceful.
Hmm.
So Claire comes in, and everyone is just hanging out in the house. And then is this when the drinking begins? Is this the next part when
We do drinking and truth and dare, right? Right.
Yeah.
Didn't we already
Yeah.
breeze by that?
No, not yet. I don't think we're there. We because it's still in the
That
daytime.
lasted like a week.
the sun hadn't gone down. I think as the sun went down, that is when the
Here
truth or
comes the sun.
dare
Do-do-do-do.
started. Is
That was when the drinking and the truth or dare started, when the sun went down.
Yes.
And I think that was when Ashley randomly showed back up.
Yeah, I think it's like halfway through the game.
Oh yeah, that's when Ashley. Okay, yes. Oh yes, where everyone picks a room. So yes, so Amani starts to pull out the drinks and suggests a game of Truth or Dare, one of the fun CV games that we have. And so of course I created another ridiculous rolling pattern to determine truth or dares, and I don't remember how I did it, and I don't care to think about how I did it.
I think
I think it was just a
but it's not
D7 to see
important.
who was it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
who you had to pick. Okay, it was simple. That one was simple.
I think it was actually very easy.
Yeah. It was just roll
For
to
once.
see who got picked.
I have to go directly to who started first because I need to know. I need to know what the truth or dares were. Oh yes, here we
Hey,
go.
I want you to know, Fire, before we go any further, all of the things that Lara did, picking on Dave while they were all drinking, that was solely to piss off Imani.
God damn it. God damn it. Oh boy.
Okay, I love that.
It was I'm pretty sure she has a crush on Dave. Let's test out this theory, shall we?
God. Oh god damn it. Oh. Oh gosh.
And then, okay, wait, we're going through the dares, but go through them.
Yes. I was about to say, if you would like to see more of this dynamic, tune in to Chaos Gremlin Crew every other Sunday to see Kitten and I go at it, or me go at Kitten and Kitten glaff.
Hit on you.
Or says, "Oh, I'm so excited to get involved." Because my character would have constantly been calling Imani Armani. Oh boy, she would have not have liked that, or had a crush on you. I don't know. So the first dare. Let me see. So truth or dare. I'm trying to find. Oh, here we go. Okay. I found it. So Amani starts. Wes, truth or dare. Wes says truth. She says, "What class are you failing right now?" And Wes, in true fucking this guy fashion, says, "I'm not doing too bad in everything." Like, fuck you. You know what I mean? Fuck that guy. I hate Wes. I love Wes. Except PE, which, that makes sense.
Hey, Fire, you want to give us a link to that?
Yes, I do. I'm gonna link you to it right now. You stay right there. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Oh boy, we started this one late. Seeing this message is 8:20. So Wes has his truth about how he's really great and doing really great. And then who goes next? Wesley. Oh, because it's a spin the bottle plus truth or dare, but there's no kissing involved.
Yes, there is.
Just a little bit. Because of
So
Laura.
Wes asks Benjamin truth or dare. Benjamin chooses truth. Wesley asks, "Do you still sleep with a nightlight?" Benjamin laughs and says no, which asked and answered. Okay.
Great.
Benjamin asks Primrose truth or dare. She says truth. What is your favorite food? These are so easy. Cheese sandwiches. Ew. Just sandwiches with cheese. It's just cheese and bread. That's fucking
Not
stupid.
even grilled cheese.
That's disgusting.
peasant food from the obscenely rich.
I know. She's got a cell phone and she eats cheese sandwiches. You know what? The rich, they elude us all.
That's just 1% of her energy.
I know. So then it's over to Andrew. All right, 12. Andrew says truth or dare. He says truth. You guys really picked truth all the time. That's wild. So Primrose asks, how did you and Cecile meet? Do you want to read this one out? Do you see where it is?
Yeah.
Wow. Good job.
Movie theater, regular. She walked in, trying to find spare seat. None. Gave mine. I guess second showing. She thanked me. I offered her a seat with the next showing with me.
Like a fucking neckbeard working at a movie theater.
That was his father, I'm pretty sure.
Andrew is a piece of shit. Spread it around.
Grass is green.
So then it goes over to it goes back to Primrose. So Andrew asks Primrose, and she says dare. And the dare was, I dare you to switch glasses of wine with each other, which in COVID times, that is a disgusting dare, but it's the 80s, so nothing's happening. It's great.
Well, also none of them have sipped from theirs yet because he thinks his is poisoned, this is the part that pissed Dave off because he's like, here, have my probably poisoned glass of wine.
The wreckage of my life.
This is just a freaking Andrew, the epistles of survival of the fittest.
Oh my god. Wild. So Art just posted a meme. Andrew, may the shit run down your leg. I love this.
What was going on?
He's so awful. So so then Primrose says West, truth or dare, and then he says, takes him a while. Oh, go for the dare, yes. Kiss the most attractive person in the room. That's my kind of dare. And Wesley freezes. Oh, wait, are you still here, Soph?
Yeah.
Oh, Soph, do you want to read what happens? Do you want to read this part? Do you know where we are?
Okay, let me just... God,
Wes
God,
is
I
very
love
cute.
Wes.
Wes is very cute.
I
Wes-
couldn't possibly do that, but the most attractive person in this room is myself.
Oh,
And then he kisses his own hand, like just
so well played. So well played. So well played. Oh God, I do love
Excellent
Wesley.
ego.
Oh man, Wesley's great. It goes back to Andrew for truth or dare. Andrew says dare, and Wesley says, "I dare you to eat a tablespoon of butter." Now, how many of you could do this? Could anyone do this?
Fire,
Totally.
I've eaten like an entire container of margarine when I was young.
I could.
I used to do the
I
same
mean, it
thing
made
when
me
I was
sick,
a kid.
but
When I was a baby,
but you know, it was very sweet. I couldn't resist like eating the entire tub of margarine. Does that count?
when I was a baby, my mother had to keep me away from open tubs of butter because if she looked away for 2 seconds, she would look back and my entire face would be in the butter, just gnawing on the entire tub.
What is happening with you all? What the fuck? Butter's so.
Childhood, that's what's happening with us all.
Oh man.
I used to stick my fingers in the soft butter, where the blocks of butter. My mother used to have them out in one of those butter trays to keep it room temperature and soft, and I used to take the lid off of those and stick my fingers in it.
Claire has learned something about all of us today.
And I don't think I'm the better for it. I really don't think I am.
Like, I used to do this when I was like 3, I think. Yeah, about 3, because
I mean,
I ate a freaking whole tomato when I was 4. I've hated tomatoes ever since.
God, I love tomatoes.
boy.
I don't
Fresh
think
off
I'd
the
be able to.
vine.
I don't think I would be able to do that with butter now, though. Just the thought of it just kind of makes me bleh.
Unironically, my mother used to refer to me as her little butterball because I was an extremely fat baby.
That is horrifying. Not that you were fat, but that you're referred to as Butterball. That's wild. That is so rude. So then Andrew, shitty Andrew. That's what I'm gonna start calling from now on. Shitty Andrew. Asked Truth or Dare.
It sounds like chitty bang
I
bang.
know.
That's what I was thinking.
What?
Shitty Andrew. It's Truth or Dare, and to Claire, who finally chimes in and says, "Truth, please." She finally breaks all these weird ass dares. He asks, "Have you ever kissed anyone on the lips?" Which, coming from Andrew, sounds horrible. Everything I read from Andrew sounds like a 40-year-old man. I just think of like a 40-year-old man asking these questions. So
Or
40-year-old
could
man.
ask, "How are you?" and it can be taken the wrong
He
way.
and Cecile were originally adults.
Oh, that
I said
makes
that.
sense. So have you kissed anyone on the lips? And Claire says, "Yes, my parents, but nobody else." Had anyone else kissed their parents on the lips? Was that a thing?
Yes.
No,
No.
absolutely not.
No.
No judgment. Actually, no judgment on this one.
Freaking the greatest NFL quarterback of all time does it.
I know that it's a pretty normal familial thing in lots of places, and it used to be a familial thing back in the olden days. Having said that, I want neither of my parents' faces anywhere the fuck near mine.
Does anyone else use
Yeah.
tongue with their dad?
No.
Is it just me?
No.
Okay.
No, but you can call me
Just
daddy
you.
if you'd like.
Fair enough. All right.
Well,
Even you could probably change that.
Me and Satan are different. It's fine. So Imani says, all right, round 2. Let's make this interesting. We'll let the magic bottle choose what you do, whether it be truth or dare. So you no longer have a choice. So Imani rolls on herself, and then she rolls to Benjamin. And can someone ask this question? You brought the bush. Benji says, "Who wants to dare me?" Who gets chosen? Let me see.
You skipped past the kiss?
Did I skip past the
Wait,
kiss?
Did you skip?
Yeah.
You skipped past the kiss.
I think I'm right on the kiss.
So
It spins Imani, and
Yes.
she's like, "Oh, it spins herself,"
Yes.
and then Laura dares her.
Mhm.
Oh, that's right. That's what happens. Okay. I remember now because I'm reading it. Laura looks at Dave. Is this the one? I feel that bottle is something gets monks and goths. Everything. Vegetation looks at it. Dare you to give us a snog. That's right. Yep. Go ahead. What do you want to say about that, kid?
Us in that sense, Laura meant her.
Yeah, Laura just
Yes.
met her.
Yes.
Laura just meant her.
I
Like-
also need to point out at this point, it has been described that Dave has wine in one hand and rum in the other and is just sipping between the two, bored because he hasn't had a dare yet. He is getting well shit-faced.
Underage drinking. But Amani takes that to mean to kiss both of them. So she quickly kisses Laura, and then she slightly less quickly kisses Dave, because that's how she wanted to do it. So I think then Claire goes next and gets a dare, and then Laura, who's a 14-year-old who is drunk, says, "Switch shirts with me in front of everyone."
oh,
This is so weird. I'm gonna go to jail for this RP. It's not Chun-Li pictures. I'm going to jail for something.
You're probably gonna go to get for all of a CV's file.
True. Honestly, I mean,
yeah.
out of the CVs, this is not the one I should go to jail for. Go back and read the Fergusons, everyone.
Read circles, read
Circles.
Oh,
Wait, Circles wasn't that bad. Circles was not that bad.
Not that bad.
So many
Not
people.
that- Wolfie! Poor Wolfie!
Oh,
The pig.
It's fine. So tune in for the next podcast, which is Circles. I can't wait for that one. Anyway, so who goes next? Was there any like interesting dares that happened? Like really, really big ones? Was it just the kiss? Was that like the super?
Wasn't there one about sitting on someone's lap?
Yes.
Don't-
Yes.
Yeah, that does
Laura-
happen.
Laura. Lyra's a little shit.
Oh, is that what
Yeah.
Imani said?
Kitten,
No,
wasn't that you who gave me that?
no,
Wasn't
it
me who
was
gave you that?
it was Lara gave Andrew a dare to, I think it was sit on Dave's lap and like
Oh,
call him Davy Boy or something. He got so mad afterwards.
I'm trying to find that one spot because I laughed so hard when it.
Because Andrew does strike me as the guy as the guy who's like, I don't want to be around other guys. That's weird. That's just weird.
I forgot Lara had
Secretly actually
been like
wants to.
switch shirts with me in front of everyone. God, Lara.
Oh god, I forgot that Dave was so fucking upset about finally getting spun, and it's a fucking truth. And then it literally says character development gutted.
What was the truth that you were given, and who gave it to you?
It was why did you join the club? Which is
Got a very simple one.
yeah.
What dare would you have wished you gotten for Dave?
He ended up getting a dare, which was more interesting, which I think was just chugging a drink or something.
Oh, that's very him. That's not really a dare for him. It's like, great, I was going to do this anyway.
I really just want to read it.
Yes, do it, please.
Andrew nodded, holding back his laughter. He stopped and walked over to Dave, pretending to sit on his lap. He gasped and spoke in a voice of fake shock. What's in your pocket, Davy boy?
Oh yeah. Lara I think it was on the train.
Oh my god.
No.
All of them. I hate all of them.
Then your thing totally gave me so many options.
Did anyone have a truth or dare they wish they would have happened for character development purposes?
Oh my god, I forgot that Dave had to sing a song while doing a handstand and rolled nearly a perfect score to do it.
What?
It happened on the train, didn't it?
No, he did a handstand on the train.
Yeah.
While it was moving, which was really impressive, which he got a perfect one. But no, it was like the dare is, or like Dave spins the bottle and is like dare, and it rolls a 2, and he's like hell yes, and then it's like okay, I dare you to sing a song while doing handstands. So I roll for it, a D30, roll a 29,
and you wrote "fuck me, Dave."
Yeah. He was getting all sorts of really good rolls really early on, which I think fucked me in the end.
my favorite is
yeah.
Dave is drunk, so you better believe he's singing that fucking Madonna song from earlier. Imani, I can't believe Dave even knows who Madonna is. Which, still, true. The author and the character both wanted to know, how does Dave know Madonna?
Because Imani played a Madonna song earlier. That's literally the stuck in his head for this whole truth or dare thing.
I feel like Dave would be like,
got half the fucking words wrong, but it's all right.
That is fair. That is fair.
He's feeling it.
I don't know. I fully expected Dave to walk in and be like, who is this person? I don't know. I don't listen to the radio. Ugh. But I guess you couldn't not listen to the radio at that time. I don't know. Dave, he says, Dave, you're a legend, which is the nicest thing Andrew says to anyone this entire RP. And she looks at, and Imani looks at Dave with such a deep gaze. He is nothing short of perfect.
And then I immediately have him fall the fuck over. Dave gets down from the handstand in the traditional way by falling flat on his back while trying to do something impressive. Oh fuck. Meant to do that.
Ours says Dave just belting out something from the Pussycat Dolls. Like that's what I got. Same thing. It's like Dave just starts voguing the house down. It's like, how do you know how to do this? You're like, oh, it's very punk to vogue and walk in heels. It's fine. It's no big deal. Do it all the time. So everyone is in awe of Dave. Dave is the life of the party. Were you happy that everyone loved Dave?
I kind of, yeah. I'm kind of glad. It felt good.
All the characters are obsessed with Dave now. He's the coolest kid. It kind of, I mean, he's so indie. How does he like, isn't it not punk to be popular?
He has no idea that he's popular. He genuinely has no clue. In fact, he didn't realize that Imani was like into him until she came over and kissed him, and he's like, "Wait, where did this come from?" Totally fucking missed any signs before that.
Dave is like the most oblivious boy ever.
Yep.
He
Yeah.
is.
He really is. He really is. Oh gosh. I want Dave to dance to buttons. Someone make that like gif of, I don't know, turn Dave into a gif and then him dancing to buttons, please. So I'm trying to think of any other interest. I'm trying to see if there's any other interesting truths and or dares. I think it just breaks off no spin. Do you guys remember any that were like super
Yes.
wide? Yes. Okay. Tell us.
Remember that DM we had about if I could do a certain dare?
You know I don't remember that. I don't remember it. I don't remember anything. But what was it?
It was a freaking wedgie.
Oh!
That entire 2-part sequence between like 4 people.
Yeah, would you like to take us through the wedgie? A wedgie in 4 acts.
I can't even find it.
Type in the search bar and type in wedgie. I don't know.
You think I'm that smart?
Was it around this time that Cecile was just speaking in rhymes as if it was a limerick?
Yes,
Yeah,
Cecile's...
Dave dared her to speak only in rhymes for the rest of the night, and he wasn't sure whether that meant that she'd be a really annoying Cat in the Hat kind of character, or if it just meant she wouldn't talk for a little while, so he was interested to find out.
So here's what happened.
Oh, he's got it.
So Andrew dared Imani. You have to give someone a proper wedgie. I don't care who, but it can't be me or Cecile.
God, I hate him so much. I would have been like, you two, bend over now. And then who did she choose?
Wes.
Oh, Wes, do you remember this? Soph, do you remember this? Poor Wes. Sophie there? Did Soph leave us? That's fine. Yes, yeah, I do remember the wedgie. Oh, hi.
Yeah, I was like, oh, it's a little bit too late to that.
What do you remember this wedgie moment?
Yes.
How did it go? While I find it.
Hang on.
I remember it happening. I don't remember if it was successful or not.
Oh my god!
I believe it was
the lap thing, which was
I
right
think
after...
it happened, but it was like an epic fail.
Yes, I don't think it was an epic fail. That's right. That's right. I think so. While we're looking for that, I do love that that you threw in one of the lines from the movie, one of my favorite lines, because Amani looks around the room and gets on her hands and knees and starts crawling in a sexy way towards Wes. Oh, Wes, they're coming to get you, Wesley.
I think Wesley should have just kicked her.
Just said nothing.
What is wrong with you and me?
What?
They're coming to get you, Wesley. And he says, "Stop it! You're ignorant." Which is one of my favorite lines in the movie. You're ignorant. It's so funny to me. And then Claire says, "This is why I don't drink," which is also a really great line. And then she continues to crawl towards Wesley until she's right in front of him. And what do you have planned? Because Andrew whispered it to Imani, right? He didn't say it out loud.
Yeah, why would he say it out loud?
Yeah, because you can't plan a wedgie. Yeah. So just as Imani wraps her hands around Wes, there was a knock at the door.
Pizza's here.
And someone orders pizza. And that's it. No, it's not pizza. It's not pizza at all. It's... What was it? It's Ashley! Ashley comes in, played by Useless Shadow. Who DM'd me last second was like, "Oh God, I really want to be in this." And I was like, "Okay, we'll figure it out, I guess." We'll figure out how you got here. So we figured out a way to get Ashley in, and Ashley comes in and hangs out with us right as the game is dying down. And after that, I think that's really it. Oh yeah, so we see the Imani recognizes the taxi guy that the guy from the train station is in a car parked off in the distance staring at the house, which is creepy. Did you guys
Indeed.
have any theories about who the man was?
Evil.
Yep, that's it. That was the answer. Evil man. Evil man.
Kill him if you get the chance.
It's true.
Reading through the truth or dare stuff, there was another dare kiss.
Where?
There was another dare kiss.
There
It was.
Yeah.
I was just looking at it, and it was right before the lap thing.
Yep. It was.
Which
Lara,
was also very funny.
Yeah. Lara got dared to kiss anyone of her choosing, and she's like, I'm too drunk to move. So Dave got her target.
Yeah.
Was her target.
And it even said, like, sorry, Imani, in the post.
God damn it. God damn you. How dare you.
And then Dave was like, if I'd known there was going to be so much making out here, I'd have signed up for here. My best friend will never believe me. And Lara's like, well, I'll just have to just mac on you in front of him. And then Dave was like, careful, somebody's going to think you like me.
Oh, God. Ugh.
And then Andrew comes and sits on his lap and is like, what's in your pocket, Davey boy? And then Dave's like, I am not into dudes. Definitely not. Totally not into blokes. Promise, not into blokes. Also, you are sick.
I'm just gonna say I think that was the only way I could have ever responded to that.
What?
That was honestly that idea came to me from a throwback of what happened in the taxi, because Lara had to pick on him because she had to sit on his lap.
Mm-hmm.
And she asked what was in his pocket.
Ara says, what? No camcorder from the chick with a cell phone?
Apparently, Prim was like that well off, but probably not that well off.
Well, she could afford a fucking cell phone in '86.
You can have a $10,000 cell phone, but likes cheese sandwiches.
No,
yeah.
She's good. Primrose just takes out her Apple Watch and then she just starts recording.
Most dynamic character of all time.
I know. She's secretly a time traveler. You guys are making fun of her, but she's actually a time traveler. God damn it. So then this is when the night turned a little bit sour. Because Andrew made a little bit of a weird accusation. And oh no, this is so I'm trying to remember how this started. Do you remember DBS how the poison drink thing happened? Because I see Dave
wrong,
said,
but...
do you think Imani was trying to poison Cecile and you let her drink her own drink too? I'm trying to see how this started.
You see, when I was writing that, I didn't exactly realize that.
Mm-hmm.
Not mm-hmm.
It's right here. I'll grab the message link.
Yes,
since Andrew glares at Imani from a distance after giving her a wedgie that really upset her, and somebody was like, "Oh, you really upset her," and Imani's just trying to get through this game so that they can go to bed because she's mad now. And it's like, since we're on the topic of fucking hating each other, why did you bring out the glasses for me and Cecile first? Trying to do some foul player shit because you're jealous you don't have the fucking gall to be in one yourself.
Yes. I love drama. Yes.
This is part 40 of me and Fire's characters having having absolute blood feuds.
Love it. Absolutely love it. So arguing starts happening. Benjamin says, "Come on, calm down. Y'all are too drunk for this." You know how British people say y'all. And things get very heated. Imani crosses her arms and looks out the window in a drunken yet serious pout. Which, if you've been around drunk people, you know what I'm talking about. And let me see what else happens. Oh yeah, so eventually Andrew fucks off to his bedroom and he has a very like pseudo serious monologue. Do you see where I'm at? I gotta send you the The
Yeah.
That means
That's
Cecile
a
followed
way.
suit. That's one thing.
Let me see. Yeah, because you fucking accused Imani of poisoning the alcohol.
Yeah. So then
Psycho.
Imani pissed off is like, "Oh, Ashley, I dare you to go kiss Andrew to piss them
Yeah,
off."
that's right. Ashley kiss Andrew. I mean, yeah.
And then Andrew's
mhm.
still just fucking bitching, moaning, and ear piercing. And Dave's like, "Hey, dude, fucking watch it. Imani planned all this. She managed to get me in the room with fucking heiress over here without the context of that's him, officer. He's the one who stole my car. Like, and now you're being a little shit about it. Like,
Yes, I remember this. Going full scorched earth. I loved it.
Yeah,
And
what do you expect from a 17-year-old in the 80s in English?
Yep.
I mean, I don't know. Dave demands that he apologizes to Prim, and so does Laura. They're like, to apologize to Prim, it's not nice. Prim doesn't say anything because she's too rich. And then so Andrew gets up and leaves, and he says, "I'm a piece of shit. Damn it, fuck me. I'm such a damn fool." He is psycho. Cece, he is going to strangle you one night.
yeah,
I know it's gonna happen. He's
he's
going
gonna.
It's either going to be strangle Cece or strangle everyone but Cece. There's
Yeah.
no in between.
No. I think it's
Yeah.
definitely going to be one of those situations where later on down the road, it's like, where did this happen? Lancaster man found 4 miles out of town after police found the body of his wife strangled to death and pinned to their front porch with fucking railroad spikes.
Right.
I love how while all this is happening, Wesley just decides to go sleep, and then he has the best night of sleep his entire life.
And
Yep.
and his last.
Everyone's imploding and someone gets good sleep.
So eventually, during the night, Imani gets up in her drunken stupor, maybe, and she leaves the house, and she runs behind the house and sees that the grass has grown quite tall, and wants to go inside of it. And who follows her but the love of her life, Dave.
Laura.
And Laura. Well, yeah, I was trying to avoid saying and Laura, but yes, Laura comes too, I guess. Fucking Laura goes in, I guess. Did you think you were going to die? Did either one of you think you're going to die this early in the RP?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know that anything was off about the grass until later.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought it was off, but I didn't think that it was the off-ist thing, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I
It
will
was-
just
I'm
say,
just over here
real-
sitting at 13 days real time on aggregate up to this point for deaths. So
And it was, I think in this thread, I think it was also around this time that I actually got sick.
oh, like
with
IRL.
Yes.
like 103 fever.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Like
Shit.
39 degrees Celsius.
Shit.
It was
Celsius
like
makes no
to the
sense
point
to me.
where the entire family in my house had it. We all had a fever.
Oh, God.
So
And this was during COVID times. That's terrifying.
yeah, like it was most likely COVID or the side effect of the vaccine that I took.
Yeah. That's wild. Well, glad you're better.
Yeah. But it left a
Oh my
sour
God.
taste in my mouth, albeit literally speaking, because I just couldn't taste stuff for days.
Oh, yeah.
And-
that sounds like COVID.
Wow.
Taste stuff for days, and now every time I eat eat stuff that is every time that I eat stuff that's like my favorites usually, the usual stuff, it now tastes particularly weird.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Therefore, RPing during all that.
I forgot that
Huh?
Dave was like, "Oh man, I really thought that I'd be the worst person here, like morally, but no, it's a Sunday school dude who's a fucking sicko."
Competition.
So the three of them go into this mysterious tall grass and lose each other. I will say you all rolled very, very well.
They
Just-
lose Imani.
Oh, did you guys stick together?
Yeah.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah,
Because
not
Laura grabbed onto Dave's shirt because she didn't want to get lost in the tall grass in the dark.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
You don't want to find a freaking Reddita in there.
Yeah.
Well,
Also, Creepo was out earlier, and she just was like, "What if he's in this grass?"
he wasn't in the grass, but somebody was. It was Amani coming back out. Nothing big, no big deal. It's great. Everyone found
Sure.
it. That's fun.
Yeah, except for the fact that Dave and Lara both heard Imani's voice coming from two completely different directions.
Yes, that's right. So they heard Amani's voice coming from two different directions, which is totally normal. You just have weird hearing.
The tall grass has surround sound.
Yes, obviously.
Surround sound. Like, is that the forgotten piece of technology of the 1980s?
Of course, it's
I
one of
think
Primrose's
it was played off as. I think it was played off as Dave just being confused and drunk. Because at this point, he had the most of a glass of champagne or whatever, and like more than half a can of rum in his system.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
And Lara was also pretty well off, too, honestly. It was her first time drinking, so.
Oh, God, 14, and what is she, 5 foot? She's nothing. She's got a drop.
5 foot fuck all.
She had
Just a glass of champagne. She's good.
Not even. She smelled champagne and got wasted. So,
Definitely.
So, they find Imani, and she comes out, and everything's fine. And so Dave says, "I just realized, Imani, you lured me away from my drink. You want to have some chill time in my room?" Which is, all I've ever wanted a boy to say to me is, "Do you want to have some chill time in my room?" Sorry, I was just thinking about a grown adult saying that to me and how hot that would be.
Yeah, watch some Hulu.
Yes, I want to have some chill time in my room. That's just so sexy. Anyway, so Amani says, "Actually, I was wondering if Lara wanted to switch with me. I seem to remember the two of you getting cozy." Get it, Amani. So proud of you, boo. So Dave is like, "No, it's fine," and Lara's like, "Yeah, it's fine. Everything's fine. I'm fine where I am." And Amani's like, "No, I'm fine. I'm going to move my shit. You two can share a room. Enjoy." And Lara's trying to protest, and Dave is trying to protest, but Amani's like, "No, it's fine."
Dave only weekly protests and then goes back to drinking. It literally says Dave goes back for his rum.
That is true.
None of these characters are going to survive past 30.
I mean, they don't.
Spoiler alert. Spoiler.
In real life, none of these
back
characters
into
are
the
living.
wild. If released back into the wild, though, Dave definitely would live to 28 and then die in some sort of tragic accident, probably involving doing handstands on the edge of a bridge while heavily intoxicated.
So let me see. Is this where they're in? I think there's a scene in the formerly Amani Dave room where so I see Lara fidgets with her shirt, feeling really uncomfortably. She enters the room and closes the door behind her. "Amani, I only want to be friends with Dave, but you fancy him, don't you? Be honest." I love this scene. Ooh, drama. And so Amani says, "Let's ask him. Dave, can you come in here, please?" God, this is so real world. I love it. And then she says, "Which one of us do you fancy? Be honest." Caddy, were you nervous about this question?
Yeah, I was like, oh shit, fuck.
Ara says Dave was the OG Dangerous Place handstand guy before Vine. Okay. So Lara's just so confused. Why did he have to be brought into this? Why can't she just answer the question? And then Lara says, "Dave, you don't have to answer that." And Amani says, No, I want him to answer. I won't be offended. I just think it's silly for us to keep going on like this. And so yeah, what was going through your mind, Caddy, when Amani was presenting Dave with this opportunity, we'll say, to be honest? How did you want to play this?
Well, I I think I did a pretty good job of explaining it in the asterisks. Or it's like he didn't really want to answer. I mean, obviously he thinks a lot of Imani, hence the fact that he was always like following her around and all that stuff. But like he didn't expect that she would give a shit about him. So this is very much completely caught him off guard. And then Laura goes, "I am clearly not Dave's type," and Dave's like, "Hey, what the fuck is that supposed to mean?"
Yes, I love that Imani didn't catch that Dave likes the Mendeses. Just likes the Mendeses. Which is, oh god, every gay boy, that's the last thing he wants to hear is like, "Who do you like?" It's like, I can't talk about this, please. I'm begging you. So Dave kind of gets out of it by being a little purposefully obtuse and being like, "Oh, fancy? What do you mean? What are you talking about, fancy? I don't know what you mean." And then Laura goes, "That you like more refined girls? How dare you? How dare you?" Anyway, Imani's more pretty than I am. Hell, maybe I fancy her too.
Fire.
What is this triangle? What is
It's an actual triangle.
It's a triangle that has another side to it that's for
Just
red.
a Triforce at this point.
Yeah, you're right. There's a red offshoot.
It's so much. So did Laura actually like Imani, or was she just what was happening with Laura?
She did ask for Imani to give her a kiss.
I mean, yeah, but like, I'm asking you right here and now, Kitten. What were her intentions?
Laura really was just, she's 14. She was experimenting. Imani was good looking and pretty. She kind of liked her. And Dave was also good looking, pretty, but also kind of stupid. So
it loves him stupid.
Good to know. Good to know.
Come here like this.
Pretty and stupid. Pretty and stupid.
Not really, but intelligence is nice. So is stupidity in some levels. Not the point. So Laura was just like, at that point, it was really just teasing. To be completely honest with you, I mean, like she stuck her tongue out at Dave. She was really just teasing.
Okay. So all of this has convinced Imani to stay in her original room with Dave, and so she's convinced, and they have a little private moment alone. She says, "Close the door, Dave." He says, "Right. Are you really all right, Imani? I was worried." And she says, "Can I be honest with you?" He says, "Of course." She says, "I'm always scared. It's so useless. Everything scares me. How I look and talk and walk and what people think of me. It's all so terrifying." And they have this very sincere and honest moment where she says, "I think I'm a boy." Were you caught off by this conversation, Caddy? Did you know where this was going?
I didn't necessarily know where it was going to that extent, but Imani in the asterisks had expressed such kind of things, but like Dave is too dumb and too drunk for this.
Yes, that is true.
Gotta say this. Right, with all these CVs that happened afterwards, a lot of it's starting to make sense now.
Yeah.
Do you get it now?
This is a major
Yeah.
foreshadowing.
This is essentially like a plot point in CV10.
Isn't this kind of like the setup to the end? Like starting to set up to the end of it all?
Because notice how she didn't say she felt like a man. She said she felt like a boy.
Yep.
A young boy. So
yeah, I believe.
My God!
Quite a statement.
Oh my god. What is it?
So it's like, what's happening? What's going on?
CB10, there's a character who's called Believe, who's a young boy.
Oh, that one, yeah.
Calls himself
and
Believe.
Like as soon as I saw it, it was just like, oh.
At the very end of the thing, it's revealed that Believe has been kind of lying about his name this whole time, because like he just said, "Oh, in my language, my name means believe, so you guys can just call me Believe." And then at the very end of the CV, 2 CVs down the road, spoilers, but it's revealed that what means believe in his language is Imani.
Imani. What country was Imani originally from again?
I don't remember. I think it's in. I think Imani is. I think it's Swahili. I think that's where I got it from.
I have another really insane theory, but I'll probably say it like a lot later when CV12 happens, because it's a bit irrelevant to this one.
Okay, fair enough. All right. If you have any,
rabbit hole, I could add something to it.
It is related to CV4 though.
I was gonna say CV11.
Yeah, what about?
Everything is connected.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
possibly faith is related as well.
I don't say this very often.
Oh no, is this about to be a compliment? You know I hate these.
Fire.
No, oh god, I hate this. I hate this already.
I am really, really genuinely impressed with you and how you strung all of these together. It's delightful.
All right. We're gonna move on from that.
Wonderful job, Fire.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Don't pile on. No.
Here another compliment. Fire.
Might as well use you as a way to string together my own shared universe.
Oh gosh.
Fire. Here's another compliment.
Yes, Cassie.
The settings.
Up until the CVs, I didn't think you were smart enough to pull this off, but here you go. There you go. You really fucking surprised me. I kind of thought you were dumb and pretty, but
yeah.
You know what? That one I liked. Because
it was just backhanded enough.
You still called me dumb. That one I can take. I can take that one.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be
it's like a shared universe at this point, and I was just like, yeah.
Aura says, Fire your shit.
There we go. There we go.
Yep.
I'm going to be honest with you, Fire. That's exactly why I'm impressed. I really didn't think you could pull it off.
You got to give them low expectations, folks. This is how you go through life. You go through with low expectations. You tell them you can't string together a sentence, and then you do something great. And they're like, whoa, you really have huge knockers or whatever the talent is or something. What are people talented in?
That's the appropriate reaction.
Isn't it huge knockers? Is that what is talent?
That's not a talent way.
Just some big old whopper dudes.
Good. I want a Hallmark. I want a Hallmark card that says "Good job on your tits."
I'm making you one right now.
Yeah.
I've got the construction paper and the fucking scissors.
Good job on your tits. So everyone starts to go to bed. Wesley has a very lovely dream sequence where he dreams. It's a very Soph thing to have a dream sequence. It's like now Soph's like calling card for the CV. I love it.
And monologues.
You love a monologue. That is true. So everyone goes to bed, and then the next morning we're getting ready to start the role play within the role play, where everyone has their characters, and we're just gonna start being the people from Night of the Living Dead. I see now I can't say the movie without saying the RP. I keep calling it Night of the Living Roleplay. Night of the
Roleplay Dead.
Night of the Living Roleplay Dead Roleplay. So I think I'm trying to get to the morning time when we all get brekkie, which is how they say breakfast in the UK. Everyone does.
It's true, it is. Yes, correct. 100%.
And Caddy knows that because Caddy has people from the UK in their family, which is
my entire family.
Incredibly shocking to me.
Everyone except me and my siblings, but yes.
Somehow ended up not in the UK, in the most least UK place you could be in.
Look, as soon as everyone related to my grandmother was old enough to move away from my grandmother, with the exception of my uncle, who was a mama's boy, they literally scattered to the ends of the earth. I've got an aunt in New Zealand and an aunt in Australia right now, and then of course my mother moved here. So like,
what the fuck are you doing in the U.S.? Anyway, get out of the U.S. Everyone should leave. Everyone should leave the U.S. If you're
Mass
listening to
exodus.
this, yes, please leave. So everyone gets started. Everyone has their scenes. We break it down into 17 scenes, and we definitely get to all 17 scenes. I think we got to about scene 10. We got pretty far. 10 or 11. It was pretty far. If you've not watched Night of the Living Dead, it is free on YouTube. It is great. You should watch it. It is a.
It's also on their Wikipedia page.
Yeah, it's on Wikipedia for free.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Watch it.
That's
Jordan,
That's where Dio and I watched it, and I do believe you were the one who posted the link for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, if you want to, it is tagged, I believe, in Night of the Living Roleplay. So if you'd like to watch it, it's right there. We have it right up there for you.
It's even pinned, so you can just scroll through the pins.
It's a wild good time. Doesn't do great for women, but other than that, it's great for black. Well, not great for black people either. It's great. It was progressive for its time.
I mean, the black guy was the main character.
He's the main character.
So, I mean, it definitely had that, and he wasn't the first to die. Something that modern
Exactly.
That's true. That is true.
Yeah, he was.
That is true. So on the plus side, he's main protagonist. On the downside, you have a main female protagonist who basically spends most of it flopping around a couch.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, who did everyone play? I know Amani played Ben. Who did Laura play?
I played Johnny.
Johnny was his is the lead sister. I mean brother.
Yeah, Laura played this Barbara.
Barbara is a shit character.
I originally wanted to play what I think was Dio's character, but then last minute I changed it to Johnny.
Oh,
see, it's funny because I thought I would have taken the Johnny, but Harry was like the one that I thought no one would want, so I took that one.
Originally, I wanted to play. It was Harry's daughter,
the one
girl,
who got
the little girl. But somebody didn't feel comfortable playing Barbara, the lead, who only has all of like fucking 10 lines. Really?
Yes. Yep. Karen was the little girl. Funny.
Yeah,
Karen.
that one.
Great scene in the basement if you watch the movie. So the RP within the RP, I believe, begins. Everyone splits up, so everyone actually like goes to locations. So Wesley and Laura actually go off away from the house to start their graveyard scene. They go to an actual graveyard.
Yep, I'm still kind of mad at this part too, actually, because Laura was all like at the very beginning, because her and Wes were talking about how things were kind of freaking weird around the place and how the house just happened to look exactly like the house from the movie. And where did Amani get this car? And she's all, I don't trust it. I know we're supposed to take the keys out of the car, but hey, Wes, don't do that thing.
Oh,
and Wes was like, yeah, okay, I won't do that thing. What does he do? Fucking take the keys out of the car, Wes.
What do you have to say for yourself, So? What do you have to say for yourself?
I made things harder for everyone.
Justice for Wesley. Justice for Wesley.
Hashtag Wesley deserves better.
Wesley deserves better. He really does.
Laura and Dave deserved better. If those keys had been in the car, Wes.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to get there, because what happens at the end of this CV, I did not expect to happen. So anyway, so Laura and Wes go off to the graveyard to start the RP. Were you all prepared? Did you all get into? I don't know. Did you all do a thing? How did it start? I don't know what the question is there.
It started, well, like I said, it started with Lara just kind of looking at Wes and being all like, "Don't you think this is all kind of weird?" Like, This kind of shit is off, and like the grass has just been getting really high. Like it's just this whole area is just it's just weird.
And then they begin. They finally begin the role play in probably my favorite scene in cinema ever. With two of my favorite lines, which is they're coming to get you, Barbara. And she says, "No, you're ignorant."
You're
So good.
ignorant.
You're ignorant. I like using ignorant in that
Stop it,
context.
Jody. You're ignorant.
It's like I think she means you're being stupid, but it's like
Yeah.
I don't. It's so strange.
Mm-hmm.
Soph, did you pick? So did you wait? So you didn't originally pick Johnny, Soph? You actually were aiming for Henry. I mean Harry.
I was gonna pick Harry, and then last second I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do Johnny because that fits his character. Was his character better?
It's great, and also Johnny dies really quickly. It's
that was
Just like
that was
Wes.
also half. That was half the
Wow.
reason why I chose him too, because I was like really busy with school around that time, and I was like, okay, well Johnny dies quickly, so that's less things I have to do.
There you go. That's easy. So they start the scene. If you haven't seen the movie, it's Johnny and Barbara are going to visit their. I believe it's their. Is it their mom's graveyard? It's like their aunt's graveyard, something like that.
I think it's Dad's grave.
Is it Dad's grave?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So they
Yeah.
they go to visit the dad's grave, and they see a weird dude like stumbling around the graveyard. And this is something I hate about zombie movies. When it's like I've never seen people act like this. When someone sees someone strange like in the wild, they're never like, "Sir, are you okay? What's going on? What's happening? Are you all right, sir? Do you mind if I just touch your shoulder really quick?" Oh God! Like I don't understand. No one has ever done that before. And I live in New York, where they're only the weirdest people.
See, I think that you feel like that because you're in New York, where there's the weirdest people, and you just ignore them because it happens every day, like 5 or 6 times a day. Whereas I think that like where I live. Yeah, where I live, people would probably be like, "Oh my goodness, are you okay? Oh no, don't bite me, zombie!" Because like everybody's up in everybody's business where I live.
Yeah, and
That's
like
fair.
where I live, people are just actually there are genuinely really nice people here. Like this was a few years ago, and I was sick when I was outside, and I had a really bad coughing fit. It actually doubled me over. I was coughing that bad. And somebody pulled over in their car and opened up the door, and they were like, "Do you need to go to the hospital?"
Wow. We
Yeah.
are godless creatures in New York, because I would have shot you with a shotgun. I would just been like, "No, it's starting. Goodbye." You're just coughing. I'm like, I have to get you in the head. So just stay right there.
I just realized we never got an answer for what the hell were those onlookers for.
Oh
Yeah.
yes. So what starts to happen is that the RP, when the RP gets a bit of a crowd, there starts to be people joining in and watching the action, and they just kind of stare. They're not super active participant audiences, which is the best audience to have.
They were so weird. They wigged Lara right out. She did
But Wes
not
is
like
just
them.
like, "An audience, excellent. I deserve it."
In true West
I was
fashion.
just like, who are these people and why are they watching us? Like,
So I made everyone roll for their performance, how great of actors they are. How did everyone roll their first time?
oh shit.
I don't know.
Do you remember?
think-
Well, I know Laura rolled an 18, so not bad.
Yeah.
I said she's pretty decent. I remember Imani was terrible. Imani rolled like a 2, so I was like, Imani's not a very good actor. I don't remember how Wes rolled either. Oh, he rolled a 21. Was that for that? I think. I think that's what that was.
Yeah, Wes rolls a 22, and then it says Wes does a bit of overacting.
Oh,
Or
okay.
maybe I'm too far ahead. I might be.
I
Too
think-
far
I think
ahead.
that's
No
I
idea
think
where
that's
I'm
further
at.
ahead. Yeah, I mean, everyone's a decent actor. I only remember that Amani was the worst actor, which is funny because she started this whole thing. Isn't that the way though? The one who's very vocal about it is always the worst at it. I think that makes sense.
She improves through the scenes, though. Like
she gets better.
it's one of those things where you can just chalk it up to nerves.
Nerves,
And
yeah,
then she
that's
gets
right.
to it.
That's right. That's right. So it begins, and so what happens is like they're seeing one of the zombies in the graveyard, and they're coming to get you, Barbara, and she's like, oh, you're ignorant. And then as he goes over to the, does he get bit? Is that what happened? Does Johnny get bit?
No, he gets tossed down onto the rocks.
That's right.
Actually, first he gets tossed down into a headstone and gets knocked out, and then he gets bit.
Yes.
Sometimes I wonder if Wesley would have died if I rolled like a 2 and his head hit a little bit too hard on the ground.
Yeah, he would have actually.
Oh God,
That was actually one
that
of
would
the
have
plans.
been an early death.
I would have been like, that
Poor
would have been
style.
amazing. I was like, life imitates
That
art.
was one of my fears. Actually, I goes, oh God, oh no.
Yep.
You got to
think I
roll
remember
for
you
that.
saying
Oh no.
I will tell everyone that there was an opportunity to die much earlier than it got crunk, and everyone avoided it. So good job. So yeah.
Awesome.
So then after Johnny quote unquote dies. Oh yes, and also we have I think it was the latecomers. I think Ashley was playing a zombie. Benjamin was playing a zombie, and I think it was just those two. And they had to do double duty for literally all the zombies, but they didn't have to work that hard for very long. Because things happen later. So Amani looks up from her spot and sees Laura approaching the house in the distance. So Laura, as Barbara, runs, and eventually she gets to the house. And they go through the whole scene of like her trying the TV and trying the radio and all that stuff. And then what was the next thing that happened in the movie? I guess we just go through the movie, right? So they start boarding up the house, right? And then that's when they meet Harry and the hot guy. What's the hot guy's name again? I just think he was hot in the movie. His name was, it's pinned, it's gonna, oh, Tom. Yeah, Tom. Tom, who is dating Judy. So no, Judy was the wife. No, Helen was the wife. Judy was the girlfriend. Yeah, so in the movie there's like this young couple who look very 60s, and it's Judy and Tom. And they're boarded up in the house with Harry and his wife Helen and their daughter Karen. Karen is laying down for some reason that we don't know of yet. Downstairs with the wife Helen, and they're trying to like hole up until, I don't know, something happens. And Harry is a really nice man. No, he's awful. He's actually really the worst. Why did you pick Harry, by the way? Why did you want to play Harry? Because no one else would play him? Is that really it?
I really thought that nobody else would want to, and then Soph was just like, yeah, I was thinking about it. I'm like, okay.
Amazing.
But at the point when I chose Harry, I had not yet seen The Living Dead, and I'm like, Kitten, break down the characters for me. And she's like, okay, so Harry's a fucking dick, and I'm like, on it.
He's the worst. Essentially, he's really
really
selfish. He's just, he's only looking out for himself. Like,
selfish and cowardly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which then I lean into full tilt.
Yes.
You do.
And
it's like the least selfish and least cowardly character in the CV.
So Barbara ends up running into Ben, who is sort of a lone wolf, and he finds this house, and they all are boarded up together. Ben and Harry.
Can I let Leia in?
Yeah, of course.
Leia's here. Can I let them in?
Oh, Ness. Oh my gosh, Leia's here. Sorry, Leah.
Oh, sorry.
I'm just kidding.
You calling them that?
Leah.
Leah.
I know. You used to want me to hold you.
Is Leah? Wait. All right. I think there you are. Leah's
My
here. You're here. Leah,
Hey, Leah.
do you
I'm
want?
a little like 3 hours late.
You're fine. You're fine. Actually, you're kind of right on time, sort of. Do you want to introduce? Do you remember your character from Night of Living Roleplay? Do you want to introduce
This is
him?
Benjamin, right? Yes.
Yes. How did you come up with Benjamin? What was your inspiration for him? Was there an inspiration?
There was no inspiration. I was just creating characters for no reason.
I love that you guys had no inspiration for your characters for this one. This is great.
No.
I think that's why it worked so well.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, the CVs work, or the role plays in general work when you just have no inspiration. You just go. You just go.
Where are we though?
Where are we? Let me find. Where did we get to? They just entered the house.
Yes, we're gonna zip through kind of the RP within the RP because essentially we'll just be explaining the movie because we followed the movie. But and we're gonna get to the. Oh my gosh, my Discord is like, it looks like it's masturbating. Oh, there we go. Okay, there we go. Great.
Where are we?
Let me.
Here, I will. I'll post.
Okay, you can post.
I got a thingy. Because it comes right at where Benjamin is. So Benjamin plays one of the zombies. So see ya, Aura. Benjamin played one of the zombies. How did it feel? Because you sort of were out there the whole RP within the RP. It was you and Ashley. What was Benjamin's relationship to Ashley, played by Shadow? Were they a thing? Do you remember?
I don't remember.
I think it was. They had They had a very weird relationship where, like, Benjamin was kind of or Ashley was kind of protecting Benjamin or something. There's some weird like protection thing happening there.
Hold on. Who was playing Ashley?
That was Shadow.
Shadow. Hold on, I'm going to our DMs real quick. Give me 5 minutes. I don't know what I'm doing.
Well, while you're doing that, so they start boarding up the house, and Amani and let's go to Barbara. There's so many characters to remember, and Laura actually start boarding up the real house.
You have to let Laura back in.
Oh, god damn it! Of course, god damn, fucking kitten.
She's gonna cuss you when she gets back in here.
Welcome back, kitten.
Hello.
Did you take a tumble?
No, actually, fire. My microphone stopped picking. The sound went all weird, just randomly, and it stopped picking up my microphone.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Okay, I see.
So Ashley and Benjamin are kind of doing their zombie thing, but also kind of just chatting. I love it. They're kind of just taking the opportunity to just like fuck around and be like, well, no one's really watching us, so we can just like chit chat. Which is what I would do in this if I had to play a fucking zombie.
Yep. You were right. Yes. We did. We talked and we were just like we shipped those two. So yes, they were. Yes.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Okay. The answer is yes. That was great. Asked and answered.
I love yes.
So eventually we meet Tom, who's played by Andrew, and Judy, who's played by Cecile. Of course, the couple plays the couple, which is just
Fucker.
Oh god, I hate them so much. God damn it. Those two fuckers. Was there any similarities between Tom and Andrew?
I get. As I'm so freaking Swift can unmute herself.
Oh my god.
I don't recall.
I'm gonna tell you, there wasn't, because Tom was actually a nice guy. So there you go.
As if Andrew was trying.
That was the only instance where the movie character was nicer than the RP character. Everyone else.
No, I'm not saying he was good at trying, but he was trying.
He was trying.
I don't know. I think Johnny and Wes were kind of on par, but different.
They were actually very on par. I feel. So eventually everyone starts boarding up, and then Ben, and played by Amani, and Harry, played by Dave. So many names. Start doing their little bickering thing, which is really awkward because Amani likes Dave, but is pretending to be this other thing. And it seems like Amani is like really, really getting into the character, like really, really getting into the character. Was anyone like clocking that, or like being like, what's going on with her, or anyone?
Yes.
Feeling
red
kind of
flags?
suspicious about it.
It's getting
I don't know,
weird.
because Dave leaves full tilt into the character too.
True.
And so Dave definitely did not clock it.
That is, yeah.
Yeah.
I not fine.
Was-
It just looked like
was-
really good acting between them.
I'm
Lara
just
was
like reading
pretty-
everything. I can't find it.
Laura was pretty full into
Oh,
the
I'm
character
too
as well, unfortunately. I say unfortunately because it was just a horrible character to be into.
Honestly,
But yes.
I would love to play Barbara too, because she just gets to sit down the whole day. It's a great RP character. She just lays on the couch.
Well,
Kidding.
I'm not
To me-
really. I mean, like, if I'm joining a role play to do role play things, I want to, role play.
Yeah, kind of like the same thing where it was Dare and we didn't get rolled till fucking ages into the game, and we're both sitting there slamming our heads into like, I guess we'll be in 7 Sin. Add us if you need us. Christ.
I mean, we made our own little posts and had our characters interact with each other,
That's true.
progressively getting
More and more
getting a
annoyed.
little bit more progressively getting a little bit more drunk as they went.
Yeah.
So eventually, I'm trying to get to the point where Laura feels something in her pocket. I see it here. I'm trying to figure out how we got there, though, because Laura starts to feel something wriggling around in her pocket, which was creepy.
No, it was in her shoe.
No, she gets stabbed with something in her shoe first.
Yeah, she gets stabbed with something in her shoe first. When Ben.
Yep,
Lara,
can't remember all those names.
Money. From when. What did you call them after? It was Benami.
Oh yeah, Benami.
Benami. Yeah, when Benami gave them some clothes to change into, there was something in their shoe, and it was later that she felt. I think it was much later that she felt something wriggling around in her pocket that just fucked off.
Oh,
And
yeah.
all I could think then was, thank God that she felt that in her shoe, because God only knows what would have happened.
Yeah,
Probably whatever the fuck happened to Dave.
You rolled a 22, so yeah. That was another one of those moments where things could have gone left, but you rolled well. And this is also a great time because Wes, in his sort of I'm laying downness, gets to see all of this weird shit happening that he's not really sure of. Like, I think Wes actively watches the tall grass get higher. Is that true? Am I making that up? I'm seeing this.
No, I think that does happen, and then he sees Imani, who is in the house.
That's right.
Run into the grass.
Oh, that's even creepy, and I wrote it. Yeah. So, do you remember that, Soph?
I think so.
Yeah,
I posted the pocket scene, by the way,
Oh,
if anybody is having trouble keeping up.
Yes, I'm trying to zip through so we can get to like the really juicy shit.
Yes.
So
can we appreciate what I just sent in Bonfire Bar?
Oh God, what did you post? What ridiculous thing did you post? Oh, Zombie 2 is standing outside of a window. He wish he had a good script. That's funny. I wish I could have appreciated that in the moment. That's great. So let me see. Something wriggling came out. Oh yeah, so Laura breaks character and says something wriggling green came out of my pocket. What the hell is going on here? And Amani goes, And Laura goes, I don't like it here, Amani. I want to go home. Really weird things have been happening since we've gotten off the train. This doesn't feel right. And Ben goes, Amani? Amani is so far into the character at this point that she doesn't even register who Amani is. She is Ben. Ben is her. Was anyone weirded out by that? Was Laura upset by this? How did Laura feel about that?
I was unable to speak. I was like, what?
Laura was highly upset about this. She was like, now is not the time to be fucking LARPing Imani. Like, we all need to go home, Imani. But at the same time, because of the things that happened the night before, she didn't want to upset Imani again. So... So she just left it.
Amani has...
then Dave breaks character. Okay.
Oh, yeah. What does Dave break character for?
Dave breaks character. He starts feeling an incredible pain in his gut. So they're doing the basement scene that is right after that.
Yes.
Because I posted, I guess Dave is down in the basement with no idea what's going on. And then it's like, then Claire gets right into character and doing Caroline's like, oh, she has bad fever, and it's like, oh, there's 2 more people upstairs, 2, and then Dave's like, yeah, I wasn't going to. Oh fuck, just pretend I said my lines. This is a Harry monologue for a while. Just pretend I'm a gutless weasel. And then it's just like, oh, are you okay? It's like, no, thanks, but no.
Yes, I forgot about getting into the Dave feels bad bits. But I do want to read out because Laura has this full monologue about all the weird shit that's been happening. So she says, it started out with a guy at the train station. Then last night when Amani ran off and Dave and I went to go find her, she was out in the grass that was much taller when we got here. I heard Amani's voice come from one place. Dave heard it from another, it seems. Then she got all weird when we went back about Dave and me. She called Dave in to talk to me, to talk about who he liked, which was weird and unnecessary. This morning things have been kind of off for me, honestly, but the car in the graveyard was like the one from the movie. The radio didn't work at first, but suddenly it did when it was supposed to, as if it was in the movies, as like on cue. And the sky looks just exactly as it happened in the script. This house is too much like the original when I got here. The phone wasn't working, just like it was in the movie. There's that's right, there was also a dead body at the top of the stairs. Yes.
Actual dead body?
An actual dead body.
Yes, it was a real dead body.
At the top of the stairs.
Oh yeah, right, I remember.
Yes. And on top of it all, the tape recorder that Amani was using for the radio went off by itself in the bedroom, then again from upstairs. And then there's a green fucking thing crawling across the floor. What is happening? She says, I'm scared and I want to go home, which is a phrase I've said many, many times at various clubs after in a K-hole. Scared and I want to go home. So all of that is happening. Laura is not interested in role playing for the most part. What happened with Dave's sickness? What's going on with him there?
Okay, so they're like, Harry's not supposed to be in pain like that. Something is up with Dave. And then Prim's like, what the bloody hell is this? Just bloody break out of character and explain what the hell's going on. And Dave's like, I really have no fucking idea what is going on. I just feel like shit. And it's like, I don't want to ruin everybody else's fun because I suddenly feel really, really fucking bad. And then he starts feeling a little better, and it's like, and he realizes he's just absolutely soaked in his own sweat, just drenched in it. Mm-hmm. And he's like, have I been sweating like this the whole time? And Prim says, no shit, Sherlock, what the hell is going on? And he's like, why are you yelling at me? I don't know.
You're so rich. You're so rich. Oh.
It's like, okay, I think the others are freaked out too. How is everybody doing other than freaked out? And it's like, no, we're just freaked out. And it's like, okay, so I'm the only one in pain. I didn't even lock the door. I just pretended to. I figured there was no point in locking in it since everyone will be going up and down all night anyway. We can just go check on the others to see if they're all right. And at that point, they are fully devoted to not being in character at this point, and just they're gonna go peek upstairs.
Yes,
while everybody else does their their thing.
They also, I think this is the moment where Primrose's rich phone rings. I believe. I think that's what happens first. Is that true?
No,
Or does
I
sick stuff
haven't
happen
seen
first?
that.
Do
you want the link to where I'm at?
I will.
Yes.
Yes. Link you to where I'm at too.
Because this is where I'm at, which is the it's the second one that was just posted, which is where they're poking their heads upstairs.
Yes. Okay. You're not that far. You're not that far from where I'm at. Yes, that is true. That makes sense.
And then they all poke upstairs to hear Lara.
Yes, to see what is happening with Lara, and she has that big monologue about how things are being weird. I'm trying to. I really thought the phone call was next because the phone call is kind of huge. But it's
No, the phone call happens afterwards when they go to find Imani so that they can all get out, I think. Specifically after Dave says, let's not split up, they immediately split up. So
Yep. Let's not split up, guys.
So,
and then
Dave says, let's not split up because something is wrong and I'm sick and we go. And then immediately Prim is like, well, I'll go upstairs. And then the lights go out and everybody's blind and then the phone call happens. So we haven't quite got the phone call yet.
That's fair, yes. So what happens before that? Take us through that part.
I don't know.
So I don't remember. Because the next big beat that I remember
Well, how did I get lost again?
Why was that so funny to me? Yeah, I think because I think that the downstairs scene was just the biggest thing that was happening there was really Dave feeling sharp pains in his stomach.
Okay, so while all of the characters have reconvened, specifically while Imani is upstairs and able to stop them, the radio had gone off downstairs, which we kind of skipped over while Dave was collapsed on the floor, trying not to just keel over dead. And the radio said he has been here before. Don't trust him. And Dave relays this to Lara during her rant about how nothing is working. And Lara says, "Hasn't Imani been here before? Didn't she say something about that role?" And somebody else says, well, there's not a whole lot of dudes here. So they start lifting off the dudes, and then Dave corrects Lara, saying he, and then Lara says he. Imani is a he, and it's like Imani said last night, I was drunk, said he was a lad, so the list of blokes includes Imani. At that point, things start kind of half clicking together, where everyone's like, okay, so that's something is fucked up then.
Also, I would like to point out that that the radio message is the first time in the CV that we use a pre-recorded audio, which was foreshadowing for the next CV when I had already started recording those things. Yay! Yes, which was super duper creepy. And then
I'm lost.
it's good. Oh God, why does my Discord do this? It does this thing where the mover up and down goes up and down like it's masturbating, and it's like.
Are you scrolling by clicking on the little wheel or on the little thing? Yeah, it's because it's loading in more stuff. So whenever you get close to the bottom or to the top, when it starts loading things, you're better off trying to use a scroll wheel.
Oh yeah.
Or the up and down buttons or whatever, because otherwise it'll freak out.
Oh, work. Okay.
Wee!
Are you experiencing this too? So.
Oh, found it.
So, I am trying to make sure that phone call is the next big thing because that's like the part I want to get to.
Let me check to see.
So I see. So the phone rings.
Okay. Yeah. The phone call is the next big thing.
Primrose's large cell phone rings. I love calling it a large cell phone. Rings upstairs in her room. And no one can see Imani. Imani has completely disappeared. And so everyone is gathered on the main floor. And so finally Primrose picks up the phone. And since Kiara is not here, I will read it out because it is very germane to the story. So she says she what the actual hell could those parents of mine want now? I'll be back. She picks up the phone. The hell do you want now? Which Primrose is not only rich, but she also talks to her parents any kind of way, which is, I guess, work.
Also, this is immediately after Lara says, I don't think we should split up. Literally word for word. I don't think we should split up. Oh, what the hell could they want? I'll be back. Fucks off into the other direction. And Lara's just like, did I not just say don't split up?
I love it. I totally see why Lara eventually is just like, let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Leave him for dead.
So
Please, guys.
I just found where we were and I just lost it. What?
good job.
What?
Here, do you want the link to the phone call starting?
Yeah.
So
Okay.
So Primrose says, what the hell do you want now? And Prim's posh mother answers and says, darling, are you there? She says, what do you want now, Virginia? Unless it's about Mark, I don't want to hear it. Which she calls her mother by her first name. You better work. And
I think that she said that it's her stepmother.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that makes more sense. She says, darling, did you hear about the girl who died in the Lancashire train station? Your friend, right? And she says, why haven't you called me? I've been worried sick. You need to come home right now. And Primrose says, what? Who died? All my friends are with me. What the hell are you talking about? And she says, that girl that jumped in front of the tracks. They said her name, she had a strange name, something African or Asian. I can't tell. Didn't you have a friend? What was the girl who organized the trip? And then she says, African or Asian? Who? Imani's dead? She's like, yeah, that's it. And then the lights completely shut off. The phone shuts off. And shit starts going down. How did you guys feel about this big reveal?
It was.
I cried inside.
I was confused, really confused.
I think we were all
Yeah,
confused.
I was confusion.
It means it was,
I was-
working.
Yeah, I was just like,
But at the same
Money's
time, it
dead.
was almost odd.
who the fuck is playing Ben?
Once you add up the details down the line, like
Well,
from
yeah.
the grass, though.
Now that
to-
we know exactly what happened,
Meanwhile, Ashley and Benjamin are still outside.
and everything else that was going on, yeah, it all makes sense. But at the time, it was just like, who this bitch playing Ben? Like,
And also at this point, Dave's illness ramps up to full levels, and this is the point where I'm like, Dave is going to be the one to die.
I was planning on it. So I'm glad I can reveal that now. I was fully ready for it and fully thinking it was going to be like a. Okay, I guess I can reveal it now. I fully thought it was going to be a moment where Dave starts the turn, and then suddenly, like, now someone is inside the house having been turned, and they have to like fuck off. But Dave ended up keeping it together. So it's great.
yeah,
so good.
he threw up a bundle of fucking squirmy vines. That
Ugh, that's so nasty. That's so
he got
nasty.
some of that sick over Lara too, because she was right next to him.
Oh, she was. Yeah, I was seeing as Lara's clinging to Dave. God, get off Dave. Get off Dave, Lara.
Listen,
Get
Dave,
off
Lara.
my man. Get off my man.
The throuple.
Listen.
You should have.
You better.
He
get
was
off
sick.
my man. I will help him. I will caress him and cling to him. How dare you?
Bitch was too busy being Ben. Okay.
Yeah,
dare you.
Ben does show
Disappearing.
back up during this
And
somewhere.
fights with us.
Let me see where that is. Dave is able to get his breath back up. His room is still spinning. I'm right in the in where the barfing has happened. Dave barfs up breakfast, yesterday's liquid sandwich, any liquids in his system, his shoes.
Yeah.
I love that.
That's just a long montage of them getting sick. Anyway,
Yeah, it really is. Let's see.
Well, while we're looking for
Ben
this,
come
Wesley starts to actually get up and start walking around the house and notices some.
Before-
Oh yes, we need to get into
Speaking
this.
of,
While Caddy and everyone else finds that next part,
I found it.
Wesley, what was he going? What was he going through? What
I
was he
know.
doing?
He was bored and he was like, oh, where are all these crowds going? So he was like to Benjamin and Ashley, who were the zombies, oh, I'm just going to go check there back in the house because everyone's going there. Hope you don't mind me. Bye. So he starts walking there. And then you made me roll some numbers and I did that. And then you told me to roll once when he was in the grass and I rolled and it was a 1. And I was like, yeah, I think I'm going to die then.
And I thought about it. I thought it would be nice if Wesley just died here. But there might be something more interesting than that could happen. So eventually, let me get to Ben re-enters the scene. Oh, there we go. So
it's pretty much right after that. You were probably already there.
Nice, found it.
Actually, it's right in the middle there.
oh, this is right where the 1 happens. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Were you? So you were scared that you were going to die, Soph?
Yeah, I thought I was dead at that point. Like,
do you feel like you were cursed in the CVs? Is it just never going to happen for you? It happened once. You survived 1.
Must be nice.
I survived 2 actually. No, I survived the Fergusons and I survived Dating Game.
You did survive the Fergusons. That's right. Yes, you didn't die when you jumped out of the window. That's right.
You technically also survived.
No, I didn't. No. Victoire did not survive. She is a harpy now. That's not survival.
She did survive. I want to be a harpy.
That's not survival. She lost her personality. That is not survival. She's dead.
The cop saved me before I could jump out the window in CV2, and CV4 I nearly died, but I rolled a 3.
Oh yes. If go back to the dating game, where it was our only full party survival, which was great.
The dating game was so good, though. It was riveting. It was from start to finish. Just this isn't the dating game podcast, but the start to finish of the dating game was so good.
Dating game was great.
I think reading that was what made me want to join the next one, and then I dropped out of that one because I got fucking annoyed.
Oh, truth or tale. The dating game was fun. Go back and listen to that one. That's a fun one. Everyone survives. Spoiler alert. So we pause on poor Wesley to find out what his fate is, as he rolled a 1 in the tall grass, which you're never supposed to do. To see that Benjamin has come back. Ben descends down the stairs, looking over the scene, a little bit confused, and he walks up to Dave. What's up with you? Hands emerge and grab. Oh, never mind. That's nothing. Oh yes. Also, by the way, for Wesley, some hands grab Wesley and pull him into the grass. That's the last time we see Wesley for a little bit. And then, yep.
Yeah, so Ben is like, is anybody else sick? And it's like, not really. And then Ben is like, something's not right with him. Mm-hmm. Dave is totally dying. I'm convinced. He's convinced. I'm only making this post because I expect to be told to roll, and I'm only just got home from work where it was terribly busy. Roll.
Oh yeah. I made you roll so many times.
Yeah, you really did. I would just make a post every now and then just so that you could tell me to roll. And Ben is like, Ben is like threatening to shoot Dave, and not knowing who Imani is.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, he's fully not knowing who Imani is.
Everyone's looking at. I waited for that guy so I could kill it.
Oh
Dave
yeah.
threw up a bundle of vines.
Oh yeah. Yes.
He repeats something ain't right with him. Ben points the gun at Harry. It's important to note that it's Harry, not Dave, in this post.
I love this.
Why aren't you talking? Hey Harry, what? Dave is shockingly in character, possibly, despite the fact that he's fucking dying. Dave's rolls keep getting lower and lower.
Where does it end for you? Because I see where it ends. I see the next story beat. That's interesting. But what did you roll like a 30 or something to get rid of it?
Yeah, I had to roll a 30, I think, to get rid of it.
Yeah. God, that's horrible. I'm sorry about that. No, I'm not. What am I talking about? I don't care.
So
I think I see.
Oh yeah, so Ben Monty says we ain't got time for that. Move away from him, threatening to shoot Dave. And Dave's just like, please don't let me die in a pool of vomit. Like, at least shoot me over in that corner. That's what you're gonna do, right? You're gonna shoot me because I'm sick. And then it's like, I got no reason to shoot you, or do I? I've got no reason to shoot you, or do I? You giving me a reason? And it's like, I'd honestly like not to be shot. We shouldn't split up. We should stay here.
Can you like not shoot me?
Yeah. Ben keeps telling Lara to get away from Dave.
Mm-hmm.
And Lara's like, I'm not moving until you put that fucking gun down and open the door so that we can get out of here.
Yes, and that's when Ben gets really mad because she's not being in character.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And starts saying fuck over and over again and says those aren't your fucking lines, Barbara.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
They aren't supposed to walk out of here. That's not what happens in the movie. Take it from page 8, or who has their script will just reset.
Oh, so creepy. That's so creepy. A true actor can mad lib, Imani. Fuck you, Laura. I hate you, Laura. Goddamn cunt. I hate her.
I'm lost. Where are we? I've been trying to find it. I don't know if I passed it or not.
Claire gives a sigh. Imani or Ben, whoever is out of their minds. So eventually, Ben Monty gets very upset because no one is saying their lines, and he's trying to remember his lines, and he doesn't remember his lines, and he doesn't understand what's happening. And
Dave goes to the bathroom to shit his pants off.
Oh God, that did happen. Yeah.
Oh, here's the most amazing post that is immediately. I'm afraid to ask how Dave is doing, but it feels irresponsible to just not make posts that Fire can't make me roll. Like, time is still moving with him just vomiting his guts. Plus, I'm a glutton for punishment. So Dave's sitting on the toilet as his asshole does an impression of what happens in D&D when you turn a bag of holding inside out. At this point, I'm sure he almost wishes he'd been shot. Or maybe he should have stayed home and nixed some drinks with Peterson. Yeah, that sounds nice. Because this is the part where I thought he was going to die, so I'm just like, fuck it. I'm going full tilt into he was in love with his best friend and should have just stayed home. And then I don't roll so great for a little while.
For a little while.
10 seconds.
So who starts does Dave start the exodus out of the house? Is that how it works?
I think he's the first one to go because after he gets done shitting his out.
Kitten knows a
there's
thing.
Yeah.
The fire, I think, pings me and then removes the ping. Then I said, bitch, fine, I was eating pasta, Dave exists, but he probably wishes he doesn't. And then I rolled without even being asked. Because I knew.
I've scrolled down to a really big part, but I think something has happened before that.
There's a bit of a part between Imani / Ben and Lara.
Yeah.
Where
you wanna read
that? I mean, you know how well my reading skills are. If you want to go ahead, but yeah, it starts at the spot where Lara hesitates for a moment before wrapping her arms around Ben from behind and hugging into his back.
Oh yeah, past that, because that's where he's still in the bathroom.
Oh no, yeah, Dave leaves the bathroom after a bit and then tries to escape the house while feeling absolutely awful. And he's like having trouble moving his arms and legs. And I described it, Dave is doing an impression of someone made entirely out of pudding skins. I don't know if Dave is feeling quite himself, but I can tell you he's not thinking clearly.
He's not thinking queerly.
He is definitely thinking queerly.
Oh, he for sure is.
Fucking stumbling around has trouble opening the door, can't get his legs to work right. But the first time somebody tries to stop him from exiting the house, he absolutely breaks that motherfucker's nose with his forehead.
Oh god. Oh god. Oh my god, I love it.
And the thing that I was talking about, that happens just after this, because Lara gets Imani to kind of basically just kind of fuck off for a little bit so that they can all leave.
Oh, okay. And do they?
Well, I mean, some of them do. Let's see.
Because who starts to leave? Because I'm at the part where a butcher knife is pulled out and throats are sliced open.
That's a little bit ahead of where I'm at, I think.
It's a bit ahead of where I'm at, because I got the whole part where, like I read before, I was like, Lara hesitates for a moment before wrapping her arms around Ben from behind and hugging into his back. Like Ben reacts instinctively and thrashes at Lara or Barbara. Lara catches Ben's hands, which takes him by surprise, and he falls down. The gun falls without him. The gun falls without him as well. And then Lara actually ends up quickly moving and sitting on Ben and taking his face into her hands and kissing him.
Oh, right. Why did you do this? This is interesting.
To fuck with you. I'm pretty sure that's the answer. I'm pretty sure that was the answer.
Oh
Actually, no, the whole thought process behind that one, coming from Lara anyways, was actually, if this works, maybe I can convince them to let everybody else go. She's like, I'll be more than willing to stay here and do whatever as long as everybody else can escape and everybody else can get out.
And what did everyone else do?
Inside the house, yeah.
They split up and stayed inside the house, and Lara was like, well, fuck you, but at least I got to kiss a bitch.
At least I got to kiss a bitch.
Again, outside the window.
Oh, yes. Ashley and Benjamin. That's the funny thing, is that Ashley and Benjamin still think the RP is like going on. The live action role play is still going on. That's the really tragic thing. They're just outside, just waiting for a cue. Waiting for a cue.
And then Wes comes back wrong, and I get to write the amazing line of, thank God Dave's got his shit kickers on. He's going to attempt to make one of Wes's knees bend the other direction. Anyone who tries to stop Dave, anyone, is getting their shit kicked in. Anyone.
Oh, God.
Yeah, this was Lara. Oh my God. She also fucking took that gun and threw it out the window for the two zombies outside who left it there on the ground.
Oh boy,
guys.
Because
another Imani just excuses.
Yeah, every attempt at teamwork failed spectacularly, except for in these small micro groups of me and Kitten and Andrew.
Still made it out alive, didn't they?
Yeah, well, they almost did.
Oh yeah, you made it out alive by doing the exact thing that I wanted to have Dave and Lara do, but then Fire was like, use the car. How about you guys use the car? You guys should use the car.
Do a Delta.
Never listened to me.
No.
Well, I actually fully expected you all to get out, but we're going to get to that part later.
So annoying.
I know. Oh, I'm annoyed by
Never
this too.
trust cars, people.
Yeah,
well,
cars are not to be trusted. Fire is also not to be trusted.
Yes, but also, you guys rolled so shittily. It was so frustrating. It was so frustrating.
My God.
Wait, okay, we're not there. We're not there. Okay, so so are we at the part where Ben does the knifey knife?
Yeah. So Ben does that, and then
So
Dave snags the knife and then hands it to Lara.
So what happens by the knifey knife? What we're talking about is that Dave and Laura decide they're going to fucking book it out of here, and Ben Mani pulls out a butcher knife from his deep pants pockets and slices his throat open. Which, if you were there for the knee podcast, Miss Manchu also did. We love a throat slice here on the pod.
And Dave is completely unfazed by this because at this point he's dead inside.
So while this is happening, there are more onlookers that have accumulated, and there's just a full-on audience watching all of this outside of the house. So just picture a bunch of dead-faced people just staring at you from outside a house while throats are being slashed. It's getting weird. So Dave grabs the knife, and him and Laura get the fuck out of there, and that's the end of the story. That's what happens, right?
I wish.
They live happily ever after. No, what happens, Soph?
No, so Wesley wakes up. He's like, "Oh, I went through like 5 different dimensions back in the place." And then Imani comes out dressed as Ben, and he's like, "Oh, thank God, Imani, you're here. I've been waiting for you for ages. What's going on?" Then she pulls out her hand. 11 Stranger Things dolls is like, says the Mothman chant from CV5, and then Wesley copies him, and then he begins to convulse, like body parts start convulsing other ways. And then he starts running toward Lara and Dave.
Yep, and this is the first
But
time.
he is now a zombie.
This is the first time when a character dies, we have a death count and we keep it going. But this is the first time we have an undead count. So we have a death count and an undeath count, and then a survivor count. So Wesley is our first undead. And I wrote it as walked into the tall grass, came out different. So who'd you go for first, Wes?
No, I went for Dave and Laura because you told me to. I wonder what would have happened if my Kate went into the house.
They would have escaped is probably what would have happened.
Yeah, I would have been so much deader if I walked into that house because it would have been like 5 to 1.
Yeah.
I don't
know. I think you would have taken a couple with you. I think you would have latched onto one of the characters, made them a zombie too, and then it would be like 2 against 6 kind of deal. And I think that it actually would have. I think that the death count would have been. I think the undeath count would have been bigger at the end.
I wanted a full party wipeout. I wanted one so bad.
Always do so. You always do every time. What are you talking
Remember,
about?
The gun had been placed outside, so they actually didn't have any means of defending themselves in the house. Unless
That's not
they,
true.
Furniture.
Every pot, plant, and bag had a gun in it for no reason, and nobody
used it.
I remember specifically that Fire brought this up, that there was a gun in there was like a bag full of guns in the basement. There was like a gun in a cabinet. There were just guns everywhere, and nobody used them except for Ben Mani, who didn't actually end up shooting anybody.
I did not realize that. That was something I had forgotten.
Dave and Laura ended up, I don't think, seeing any of the guns because Dave was upstairs, I think, when they found the bag of gun downstairs and no one brought it up to him.
Yep.
Yep. And Laura didn't know about it.
Things are so weird and we all feel weird. If only we had a bag of guns!
So listen, I'm just going to let the three of you take this next scene and just give us the beat by beat on what happens, because I'm sure you all know it by heart at this point.
Do you want me to link you?
Yes.
Sure.
Where we're at? Okay. Here's where Wes begins the chase.
So Wes begins to get all his self-centered himself, all his self-centered to him. Then he goes after Lara and Dave, and then he sees them. So Lara and Dave are arguing because they don't have the car because someone has the car keys.
Yeah, and then Dave makes a point like, look, if Wes has the key, he's bringing it to us. I can see him. He's way. It's shit, but he's coming. He's got the fucking key. We just take it off of him. That's fine.
So he just walks to them. He manages to make it up to them nonchalantly, and then the both of them are keeping that line.
It's pretty chalantly. It's pretty chalant.
And then he trips over. Then Dave tries to kick him, and then but Laura's like, "No, wait till he comes to us." And then, Laura gives Dave the knife, and then he starts going back towards the car after getting up, and then he rolled a D2 and dives for Lara, and I was getting pretty close to getting Lara, and then Dave. And then I started rolling shit rolls, and then didn't roll a 30, and all my plans were destroyed.
And you were moved from the undead count to the death count. See, I was gonna say, whenever I said that the undeath count would be higher, if Wes had gone into the building because nobody had armed themselves for reasons that are just nonsensical, I think by the end of this, all of the characters who were turned undead end up just regular dead by the end of this.
Still think Wesley would have forgiven both Lara and Dave for what they did to him.
Yep.
Easily. Like, he's a person who doesn't hold grudges towards people. Like, he would just be like, "Oh yeah, you kind of just stabbed me, killed me, but we're good friends. We're good friends, right?"
Yeah. I owe you a drink. Have a drink.
Yeah.
That's fine. I was already trying to murder you guys. It's, you both just worked together to...
And then they stole his pants.
Yeah, we did steal... I stole his pants.
So who actually kills Wesley? I mean,
I think it's Dave.
It's Laura. No, it's Laura. She rolls a 30. Oh no, it is Dave. Laura grabs a hold of Wes long enough for Dave to stab him in the head in an unplanned but coordinated attack.
So they both did.
Good job.
I'm proud to be a recipient of the first CV death.
I couldn't
Is
find
that your
the
first time
keys.
dying? Is that your first time being first?
This was my first. No, this was my first time. Death.
Your first death. Okay.
My first death.
Oh, so special. So special. They all got to have one. So how does it go so wrong from there? Because you all are free and clear, right?
We couldn't find the keys.
Because they were in his coat jacket and were dumbasses.
Yeah.
And didn't look in his coat pockets, only his pants pockets.
I was the only one who specified pants, but Laura just said is going to look for the keys, but then you rolled a 5, so you definitely didn't find them. So we start hotwiring the car, and our rolls from this point forward do not go above like a oh no, our rolls don't go 16, I think, for a really long time. Whereas Imani is getting better and better rolls kind of as time goes on. We are rolling like 5s and 11s and fucking 3s.
So classic horror movie shit, though. I mean, really.
Yeah.
It's just so fucking stereotypical classic horror movie bullshit.
So by Imani gets good rolls, what Dio means is that Imani has now transformed into what Wesley was, which is sort of this super fast breed of like the 28 days later zombie mixed with I don't know, like a super fast Planet of the Apes kind of thing. It's like all fours running kind of thing. It's really creepy. And yeah, so now I called her Z-Mani. Z-Mani is heading after Dave and Laura. And then what happens? Continue.
So Dave fails to hotwire the car a couple of times. So he's like, okay, I know you've never done this before or whatever, but you've just seen me fail to do it a couple times. Just do what I was doing, but better. I'm going to try and keep Imani out of this car. And Imani like smashes through the windows. And then Imani rolls a 30 and just drags Dave out of the car through the window, and then bites him. And that is the end of Dave.
Were you sad?
Lara does manage to get the car started, though.
Yes.
That is
Amazingly
Dave is
enough.
dead.
And unfortunately, after Dave is dead, yes.
we are going to take a very, very clear beat for what happens to Lara, because it is one of probably top 10 most incredible things that's ever happened in the CV. I will
Yes.
never forget this. We're gonna get there. First,
Oh,
Dio, how did you feel about Dave getting bitten?
Well, I didn't like dying, obviously. I don't like dying in this stupid thing.
The stupid made-up thing.
Then you send me a DM and it's just like, your job is to now kill as many people as possible. Start with you didn't even say start with Lara, but she's the closest, so that's what I did. And it's like Lara has just started the car and Dave starts to get up. And it says it would have been nice if he'd kept the knife. The window to the car is open, so Dave is going to try and get into the car.
What happens next?
She floors it towards him and Imani. And both Imani and Dave get onto the car while Lara is driving. And all of the rolls at this point are above a 20.
yeah. Lara's driving pretty good for a 14-year-old who could probably barely touch the pedals.
I love the line, Lara does a hard Tokyo drift that avoids getting grabbed, but Dave is holding on for dear life. Imani is flung off, but easily recovered, now standing on the ground ready to pounce again. So Dave climbs into the car.
Oh, I had such anxiety for this.
Yeah. So at this point, I'm like, I'm like trying to figure out what Dave is going to do. Dave grabs for Lara / the steering wheel, and Lara stabs him.
Sorry, mate.
Slices his arm, which doesn't faze him too much, not enough to stop him from attacking. And then at that point, Zombie Dave is like, okay, I'm not gonna grab you because you're gonna stab me again. Rude. So he grabs the steering wheel and his idea is that he's gonna pull it and like jar her, but I roll a 1. So he pulls it too hard and crashes the car into a tree.
And I rolled a 5.
Yeah, because you couldn't stop me. And then Dave goes flying out the front windshield. And then I'm in air quotes like, oh, just like in the movie. And then Lara goes, just like in the movie. And Dave is dead.
Yeah.
Now.
It's Dave's body is sitting between the car and the tree. A giant glass shard is lodged in his head.
Yes. And then roll to see how Lara is doing.
Roll to see how Lara is doing should be put on a plaque somewhere. Roll to see how Lara's doing. How is Lara doing, kitten?
I rolled a 1. Lara gets out of the car triumphantly and stumbles over to look at Dave. As she turns around, she sees Imani stopping and looking at her, not chasing her at all. She feels the heat coming from her left side. Lots of heat. The car is very much on fire, and before she can react, and just as she recognizes the peril to film, the car explodes, killing Lara.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, the Night of the Living Dead, this exact thing happens in Night of the Living Dead to the couple. Yep. They are driving and they set
the car on fire with gasoline.
Yep, and it blows up
and kills the people who are in the car. And I drew a lovely little picture.
Oh, please post.
I did. I already did.
Oh yes.
I posted my Dave picture too when we were introducing characters too.
I would like to state though, and I'm actually pretty pleased with this fact. Lara did not get turned. She might not have survived, but she was, I think, the only.
Yeah.
She was the only non-turned death.
That's correct. That's absolutely correct. Yeah. It was good. It was very good. It's probably, like I said, this is one of my favorite CV moments because I cannot believe it happened. Sometimes
Is your
roll 'em.
first TV moment the execution skull scene from the circles?
Yes, but I think my favorite scene from any CV is the 4-way execution in circles and through whoever many it was.
No, it was a freeway execution.
Through execution. I fucking
three-way.
live for that scene. God damn it, I love that scene.
There was 2 of those. There was
There was
Yeah.
2 3-way executions.
There was 2 3-way executions.
Oh, that's right. Ooh, I cannot
Because
wait.
there was one with the
Wolfie, Pudsey, and Nick's character, whose name I've forgotten, all killed at once.
Oh,
Yep,
that's right.
and so were Kitty, and I can't remember the other 2 characters. Sorry, guys.
Everyone had so many character names, so yeah, it's hard.
It was my character, DB down by 6. It was his character, and it was Swift's character.
Oh, Dominus.
It was the 3 of us.
And
Yeah.
Swift's character's name I can't remember. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I can't wait for the Circles podcast. That's gonna be lit. Anyway,
Also,
yeah.
high key, the thing that angered me the most about Wolfie's death is I tried to kill off Wolfie before you would let me, just because I was at work for 90% of that death scene. You dragged it on for ages. I was trying to work. I was busy. I'm like, oh yeah, Wolfie stops moving because they're dead now. And Fire's like, no, incorrect. More things are happening. And I'm like, okay, Wolfie's dead now. And Fire's like, no.
I feel no ways about this. Anyway, tune in for the next podcast for Circles when we yell at each other. So after that very, very sad scene. By the way, I would like to say I was 100% expecting you all to get out of there. I was certain you all were going to win, and that's that's why I sent Amani after you. Yeah, the hot wiring in the car.
Hot wiring in the car is what killed us.
Because I was like, I said, okay, well, they'll have a scene with Wesley. Like they can't just walk out of the house and leave. That's dumb. So I was like, Wesley, I'll send Wesley after them. That's fine. And then Wesley like immediately gets killed. And I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'll send Zombie Imani after them. Great. And then like Zombie Imani caused like more trouble than I thought she would. And then I was like, oh, they're really not gonna make it. Oh God, they're dead. Okay, great. So I fully expect you all to make it. I was shocked.
I
Would have
think
changed
that
if they had the keys.
Yeah.
I think that also, if you had just sent the onlookers after us, that would have caused less havoc, but would have been more tensiony, because it would be like dozens of hands reaching in through the window instead of just one zombie Imani.
I'll be honest, and I'm nothing if not lazy. The idea of making hundreds of people roll, I guess I would just have one roll for a bunch of people.
You'd just do one roll.
Yeah, it's true. But I specifically didn't want the onlookers to be violent for very long. I wanted them to just like watch you all, because I think that's so creepy to just have someone like not helping, just watching.
It was creepy.
Well,
Are we going to get an explanation for the onlookers?
Oh, you want an explanation for the onlookers?
I want an explanation for the onlookers.
What do you think? What do you think they are? Who do you think they are?
I just have I don't know if they're going to be explained in CV12 or what, but I was very confused by what those onlookers were doing, because all they did was watch us.
Yeah.
I have a theory.
I would say that the onlookers were never really violent. They just didn't want anyone to leave or break character. So the idea of sending onlookers after us, they'd be trying to pull us out of the car and back to the house, was what I was thinking. Anyways, I'll co-write your next CV.
Thank you.
I have a theory, and it goes along with the whole, he's been here before. This was not the first time that Imani had brought people there to that location to do anything. That town had taken many, many lives before. All of those lives, they were the onlookers.
Interesting theory.
I think that's kind of what I was thinking too, because it was like, he's been here before, don't trust him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And a correct one. Good job, kid. Very good.
I also think that the voice the voice in the radio that said that. When we were going through it, I was like, oh, that's one of the victims, like trying to stop the cycle. But I have other theories now that I think that tie in greatly to Circles, because of course Circles was the one. But I think that it's going to heavily tie into the next CV too. I think there's another external force other than the cryptids, and other than that weird cult alien thing that I'm not going to get into the end of Circles. I don't fucking understand it. It was very M. Night Shyamalan and not in a good way.
I'm just hoping it all gets explained in CV12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking it will.
Yeah.
I think it will.
You should, as long as I don't, as long as I remember. There's a lot of these fucking things. So eventually, after we say goodbye to our beloved threesome, that wasn't sexual. They don't actually have sex. They're all underage. Which I guess if they're underage, they can't have sex with each other. I don't know how the laws work. Anyway, so Ashley and Benjamin are still left outside. Leah, do you remember what happened? Let me send you the link to where we are.
I'm already there. Don't worry.
Oh, you're already there. Okay, nice. So talk us through. Can you talk us through this part?
Basically,
They love each other, which is
love each other.
Ben. If I don't live, I love you. My God, these children. These goddamn children. So Benjamin is still not he's also not fully aware that Amani is, I guess, turned, because he says Amani quit this shit, and it's like, oh honey, Amani's not gonna quit this shit.
Well, they've been waiting outside for like hours.
Yeah.
It was very much a moment of Imani can't come to the phone right now.
Right,
why not?
yes.
She's dead.
I killed her.
What the fuck?
Amani as Ben, I believe, comes out of the grass and points a gun at Benjamin's face.
What's happened?
Yeah, so Benjamin does nothing. Let Ashley live. Silence for a second if you don't respond. Ben, why are you like this? And then he says, why are you talking? You're not supposed to be talking. And then he says, I'm not a zombie. And Ben Mani screams, yes, you are. And says, this roleplay has gone too fucking far, which should be the underheading for this whole roleplay. It has gone too fucking far.
Really though.
So Ben puts the gun down, and Benjamin. So there's Ben and then there's Benjamin, which is very confusing.
Benji.
Benji.
And then of course there's Imani and not Imani.
Yes, and not Imani. So thank you, Ben. Where is what is he asking? Ben starts to the back of the house before getting an answer. I don't. Okay, then I'll follow you. Ben gets to the back of the house and sees Ashley. He continues walking toward the tall grass. Benjamin screams, Ben, what are you doing? Ben / Imani disappears into the grass. Ashley, let's go to the house. I don't trust that. Let's go to the house was your first mistake. Well, not yours.
Yes,
I mean, you were fine. Ashley exits the tall grass. You okay?
But guess what? I have a shotgun in me.
Yep.
On my hands.
So they start to go inside. And who is inside but Cecile, Andrew, Primrose, and Claire, who are all downstairs. Claire opens the door, or eventually after getting it unbarred. And they all get downstairs to the basement. God,
Guns are.
I will never get over this decision. Everyone huddles down into the basement. You know what? I take it back. I believe if you thought that there was danger outside, I believe that there is a universe in which getting to the basement seems like a good idea. That's fair. You know what? I take it back.
To be fair, in the original movie, and this is what I was saying during this, I don't think I said it out of character in brackets or anything, but I think I had just voiced this either in the lobby or in a voice chat with somebody. But like in the movie, what saves Ben at the end of the movie is he goes into the basement, locks the
Right.
door, and doesn't come out until sunrise.
Right. But he had
Depending on which version of the movie you watch, depends on whether or not that actually ends up saving him. But I was thinking, if help was coming, that is the right decision. But of course, we didn't know that help would ever be coming.
So yeah, so a couple people fucked off, which is maybe the right decision. A couple people stayed behind, and that was also maybe the right decision. Spoiler alert, it was a wrong decision all around. Everyone should have been doing something different. So what happens is one by one, Amanis start rising from the ground, just different Amanis. And Ashley and Benjamin are, I guess they're not inside the house yet because they're trying to get in. And all of the Amanis are in different outfits from different time periods, which is important. And they all stand aimed at Ben and Ash and the house. Slowly they break their backs as vines start to envelop them. So at this point, we've now sort of revealed that the vines, all the way in CV1, are basically used to create or reanimate bodies to make these zombies. So the cryptids now working together to make other cryptids. Good job, cryptids.
Unpopular opinion, though. By this point in the CV, there's the Amanis, and then there's Ben Mani. And I'm going to say Ben Mani, despite seeming to be the most unreasonable, ended up actually being the most reasonable. Because even though Ben Mani was in character, Ben was actually a pretty reasonable character. And they end up talking themselves out of a lot of trouble with Ben on several occasions.
True. Very
Can we
true.
just talk about Ben had some really fast reflexes?
Wait, Ben or Benjamin?
Benjamin.
Okay.
Mine.
Yes.
Mine.
Yes, Benji did have really fast reflexes. That is true. So, so all of the Imani start breaking their backs as vines start to envelop them, and the vines turn into spider legs. So there are spider zombies, the worst thing in the world.
I hate it.
Some of the vines turn into wings, some turn into legs. Another Imani has vines pouring from her mouth, and they act as a symbiote, legs coming out of her mouth, just like legs from the. It's all disgusting. And so they all scream in unison, and Benjamin gets the shotgun and says, "I'm gonna fucking kill y'all." So Benjamin starts shooting, hits one of the spider Amanis. You rolled pretty well. This is good. It happened to get back up, so not that great. So start shooting and shooting and shooting until Andrew and Cecile go for the door and unbar it, and I think letting them in. Or I guess they try to let them in, and then Ashley kicks down the door or something like that. But anyway, they get in. And they all go downstairs, which is great, and everyone's safe and great, right? I'm trying to see. So I'm trying to see. So actually, Andrew figures out that the script said that the guns were in the basement, and he does look for the guns, and they try to figure out how many there are, I believe.
Also, Fire, you're wrong. Spider zombies is not the worst possible thing.
What is the worst possible
Spider
thing?
Shark zombies are the worst possible things.
God.
Yeah, this whole section of this actually really reminds me of Gyo, which is a Junji Ito manga about freaky fish shark zombies and things. And I just had to show that picture. I was actually Googling it in the background.
Oh no. Oh.
Anyways,
yeah, I remember this. Oh god.
Call me for CV12 if you want help writing.
Fucking Junji Ito. I mean, well, technically it will be sort of a co-writing thing. You'll see when CV12 comes out. It'll be fine. Eventually, we get a winged Imani looking down from the ceiling, who gotten inside the house through the door, and is trying to get to the basement. And eventually, I don't know who gets in first. Having trouble finding the other guns, are any actually here? They find like one gun or something like that. Yeah, that's right. They roll. I make them roll a d10 to see how many guns are there. They roll a 1. So finds one shotgun. The entire group now has 2 shotguns, which is great. That'll be fun. Winged Imani tries to bust down the door. And who is the first to get in zombie-wise? Prim and Claire follow Andrew and Cece down to the basement and close the door. Ben drops the nail. I think it was some of these. Yeah, so basically what ends up happening is that the zombie Imanis start like pouring into the basement, which does not bode well for our heroes, as they're just in this crowded space with all of these zombies, and people start getting bit. Who's the first? Do you remember, Leah? Do you know who the first to get bit was? Because it was all 5 of you down there. There was Cecile, Andrew, Benjamin, Ashley, and Claire. I'm trying to remember who goes first. Oh yes, you know what? I have it right here. So here we go. So eventually the first one is Andrew. Andrew ends up getting turned by a crawling zombie in the basement when he's trying to save Cecile. So like Andrew's doing the whole heroic thing and he's like trying to make sure Cecile doesn't get hurt, but the zombies are so fast and they're like climbing all over the walls, and one of them goes down, and which is what I was so hoping was happening, was that one of the lovers would get turned and then tries to eat the other lover. And I was like, yes, I hope so. And it did. It happened. So Andrew got bit and turned into a zombie. Claire then got pinned up against the wall by a flying zombie and bitten. And then Cecile was trying to run away from Andrew, who was trying to bite her. But eventually she too got bitten by Andrew, which was very, very sad. And but the saddest one of all, possibly, was that Benji, your love, Ashley Williams, got bitten by a crawling zombie in the basement. Was that sad? How did you feel?
I felt nothing.
You felt nothing. So with literally no one left, you had no choice but to fucking book it out. How did you make it on your own? I just don't. Can we just dive into that? I'm going to find the link of where it begins and you can just take us through it, because it's way at the end. I forgot what also Primrose also I think got Primrose also left in the because it was Primrose alone. That's what happened. So Ashley got bitten and you left Primrose behind, which is the number one rule of the CVs, is never go back. You only look out for yourself. You never go back.
And guess what I did?
Yep.
I just did.
Fucking left Primrose there in the basement alone to get bitten by a crawling zombie, which, listen, she's rich. You should have taken that cell phone and pawned it. Is what you should have done.
I should have.
Taking that giant ass cell phone.
I should have taken her cell phone, hacked it, and then had my phone.
That's right.
That would have required them going back, though.
Yeah. Fair enough. So yeah, don't ever go back.
Never go back.
I'm trying to go to the spot where it's just you left, because I don't remember how you went. Let me see. Yeah, it was just like Benjamin had really good reflexes. Was that what you said?
I don't. Hold on.
Here, I'm gonna find it. I actually have it for you. Hang on. There we go. Hang on. Because we are right at the end. I found it.
Let me know when we get to the giant wall of fire text where Fire made 9,000 single posts in a row instead of putting them all in one post like a normal person.
I never do. I refuse. I never will. I type in stream of consciousness. Look at my tits.
It's the shift button and then the enter button to make a new line.
I don't know
in
her.
your chats.
Alexa, please show the gif of Mariah Carey saying I don't know her in response to the enter button.
I'm gonna break your knees. I'm gonna
You're gonna
make
Wesley
your knees
me?
bend the wrong way. Yeah, I'm gonna Wesley you. Fuck you, Fire. And then I'm gonna take your fucking pants.
You just want my pants
Take
off.
them out of your closet, of course, because you're definitely not wearing any pants right now.
I'm not wearing pants. That is absolutely the truth. So I see that Ben is standing at the top of the landing of the basement, sees the door about 15 feet from the basement, and the room filled with 8 Imani zombies. 8. And Leah writes, "Run, Benji, run," and run, Benji did. You rolled super well, Leah. I don't know how you did this. This was kind of amazing. Pretty much you never rolled under a 20. What'd you say?
Not there for some odd reason.
Oh, hang on. I think I just linked you to but let me give you this specific link so you know exactly where we are, because we're right at the end here. There you go. And yes, kid, that is the GIF. It's my favorite GIF. Do you see it now?
Cars. I'm at a cars point.
Just post it. Did you find it?
I'm at where? Yeah.
Nice. Yes.
The calling immediately catches Puma.
Yep. So basically, Benji just books it through all of the Imanis, trying to get to him, and he knows that there's a train station, so that's where he goes. Ben is halfway across the field of the house and is still very much in view. The Imanis rush after Ben instead. Benjamin runs faster. They catch up alongside of him. I have you roll. You roll a 10. But I rolled a 9. Oh yeah, that's what kept happening, is that you didn't even roll amazing. It's just that I rolled worse. And so they kept being like right on your tail, but never actually getting there. And eventually I rolled a 1. All zombies stop in their tracks. As Ben turns around, he sees a man in a hat and a trench coat standing in front of him. Would you like to go? And Benji says, yes. Are you all right?
No, that's what you want from me.
I love no, I'm traumatized. I'm going to start saying that. And he says, is there anyone left?
I don't know.
Benji's a little bit of a psychopath. I'm just now noticing this.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, after everything, I'm pretty sure Benjamin's just sitting there with a 1,000-yard stare and is not even aware of the conversation that's happening, despite being one of the 2 participants.
Fully.
Okay. It would have been pretty much the same thing if Lara had gotten there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except for, you know what? I don't really care. I just want to go home now, thanks.
I just want to go home. So the man fully lets Benjamin run away. He's just like, okay, fair enough. And he turns around and watches Benjamin run away. And Benji fully runs to the train station. Were you like worried that something was going to happen, Leah?
Absolutely.
Were you worried that it wasn't over yet? It was one of those like last minute horror movie moments.
I was like, oh, this is definitely the end.
Yeah, so Benjamin makes it all the way to the train station, and the station master, who is blissfully unaware of anything that's going on, was like, hey, where are you going? How's it going? Benjamin is like covered in like blood and dirt and shit, and was just like, hi, I'm going to London. Gets a ticket, and there's nothing to see there. The train will be just a minute, and then you can get on. So eventually the man comes back and sits next to him. Oh no, he hands him a ticket. That's what it is, really. I'm catching you try over there, boy. Okay, thank you, sir. Here, take my daughter. Oh, that was the train guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so eventually the crawling zombie catches up with... Oh, that killed Prim. That makes sense. Yes.
Yeah.
So, what had happened at the end was that the man finally gets to Imani and says, we're almost through it now. Would you like to do the honors? He holds a pistol in his hand. Or how about a knife? Quieter? Amani snatches the gun from this man's hand, they seem to know each other, and one by one puts each of the 8 Imani zombies down that look just like him, and they one by one fall over. As they lay on the grass, the vines envelop them into the ground. Let's take care of the rest. They walk together, the man in front, Amani lagging somewhat behind. They get to the house, and the man closes the very battered door. Amani asks what will happen to them. They'll walk around in the house until they starve. Amani says, that's awful. It's not what you asked for. And Amani yells, it's not. And the man refers to some sort of deal that they made. And he says, you always read the fine print, which is kind of interesting. What's this deal? So the man points to the tall grass in the back. He says, go, we're done here. Thank you for your service. Amani says, fuck you. The man says, same to you, darling. They put up the middle finger to each other. And she breaks and goes toward the tall grass. And she says, make some room, Artie. Ooh, Artie.
Even though, wasn't it not Artie who was the, thing?
No.
Wasn't it a different character?
It was a different character, yeah.
Yeah.
Different person. It's a misnomer. So then the man goes back to his car, and he goes to the train station and gets a ticket to Algeria. Interesting, very specific place. And he fully sits down next to Benjamin, and they have a full conversation. How did you feel about having a conversation with this creepy man?
I was about to be like, I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm dead.
I do remember you DMing. I think you were DMing me or something. You were just like, "What's happening? What are you doing?"
I was like,
What is happening? Yep. So then he literally just says like, "Oh, how's it? Hope you're doing okay." And that's it. And then he says, "Enjoy London. I hear it's divine this time of the year." And the man gets on the train. And the final part of the CV is Benjamin asking, "Who are you?" And that is the end of Night of the Living Roleplay. Good job, everybody. That was fun. And then so we had the final count is we only actually had so we had 2 twice death counts. We call them twice death counts, which was Wesley and Dave.
Double death.
Double death. We had a single death count, which is only Laura. Laura's the only person in the CV who got killed not having to do with zombies. And then we had 6 undeads, which is Amani, Andrew, Claire, Cecile, Ashley, and Primrose. And 1 single survivor, Benjamin. Good job.
Fuck you, Benjamin.
Fuck you, Benjamin. Fuck you, Benjamin.
That should have been me.
Honestly, it should have been Laura and Dave. Laura and Dave also both should have survived.
Like it should have been one of those things where Laura and Dave were just chilling at the train station waiting, and then Benjamin walked in and they were like, "Hey Ben, what's up?"
Yeah, that's what should have happened. Oh, what would have happened had Laura and Dave survived? What do you think their lives would be like now?
Deeply traumatized.
Yeah. I do believe actually we talked about Lara hanging out with Dave and Peterson afterwards.
And there were other punks.
Yeah. They probably would have gotten up to a nice bit of shenanigans, to be honest with you, because Lara was just a little shit anyways and would do things for the fun of it.
Oh, yes.
And it would have been just like this one goth kid hanging out with the punk kids, because why the fuck not?
I think that we ended up talking a lot about what would have happened if they had managed to get home. It might have been during the CVs before we actually died. We talked about like what Peterson's personality was like, and she was Laura would just fuck with him for funsies.
Yes.
And there was talk about how Peterson had like a huge crush on one of the like waitresses at a place that the punks would often go to eat, specifically because Peterson had a crush on that girl. And there was a whole thing.
I love this backstory.
Yeah, we talked about Dave and Lara just kind of like breaking into Peterson's house to wake him up at like fuck hours in the morning just to go like hang out at a church somewhere and maybe drink or something.
Actually, I remember specifically we had if our characters survive, what we were gonna do is instead of having them all both go home, they were both just gonna go to Peterson's. That was something we talked about.
They were just going to go to Peterson's.
They were just gonna break into his house kind of in the middle of the night and like, wake up, loser, we're deeply traumatized, let's go get some fucking booze.
Get it, we're deeply traumatized. So, and what Leah, what do you think Benjamin is up to these days?
I've got a whole thing for you guys. He's most likely
Okay, that's
still
good. Saw something deeply traumatizing and unexplainable, but he's good.
Yep. He's most likely still traumatized. But
I would imagine so.
But he's probably working somewhere in a mental hospital or something.
He's working in a mental hospital. Okay.
Is he working in the mental hospital, or does he think he's working in the mental hospital?
Yeah, that was my next question. That was my next question. Oh gosh. Well, this is a fun one to write. It was it was funny because at the end of this I was like, whew, I did a lot of work on this one. I don't think I'll do nearly as much work for this one as the next one. But cut.
Nice.
And then
Well, you'll see on the next podcast of Circles was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life, next to childbirth.
Man,
my God,
Circles was fun though.
We'll get to
that
it.
Was a good one.
Wait, stay tuned for the next episode of
Spoiler
Hero City.
I'm the first casualty.
Oh yes, and this is what you deserved. That's what you deserved. Fucking being the sole survivor of this one. God damn it.
It's not like it's about any of the odd ones.
Oh my gosh. All right, we're all going to go to bed because it's late and I'm hungry and horny, or whatever the first one. And
I'm gonna go eat. Fuck you guys. It's 10:30 and I've been starving.
Fuck you guys. All right.
I already ate, so
must be nice. Gita Moose. Never mind. We'll talk about it later.
Wait, no, I didn't.
Are you hungry? Come over to my place. I'm making sushi.
I'm
go
not
look at food porn.
I'm not setting foot anywhere near Kentucky. I'm not going there.
You know what? That's fair. Not even for sushi?
Especially not for sushi. I'm not getting it from... I live in New York. What are you talking about? I'm not going to Kentucky
not
for sushi.
Not even for sushi and my amazing company.
Wow, you cut out after amazing, and the things that I auto-filled it with was just...
My next word was fucking, so if you want to just...
Okay. Well,
amazing fucking company.
Yes, it was amazing fucking company, but
amazing fucking. I like that. I like that. All right, tell the kids goodbye.
Goodbye.
Good night, everybody.